Hello, I'm HQ of HQ Reacts. If you find yourself here and you're not subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe. If you find me on other social media platforms, please follow me, like, share, and subscribe. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. So, you can catch me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Hey, hey, hey. Uh-oh. Look like I froze. Hopefully you can hear me. But I don't know why I froze, but I froze. But anyway, I'm froze for some reason. I have no idea. But we came here for the pro-black discussion. Yes, we did. For the pro-black discussion. And we can sort of introduce ourselves like that. Hello? Yeah, I know. Okay. Here we are. Okay. No. Don't worry about it. I forgot that I wasn't frozen. Oh my God, I wasn't frozen. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm sitting talking to my daughter. I'm sorry. Telling her what I'm going to say. Okay. Sorry. I didn't even look at it. Okay, we are here for the pro-black. Okay, the pro-black show. Now, here's our pro-black introduction. Pro-black, yeah. The pro-black is a general term. It refers to the attitude, the ideology, the movements that support and uplift Black people, their culture, their diversity, their identity, and their interests. It emphasizes pride in being Black and works to counteract some of the negative effects of racism, discrimination, historical oppression, right? Being Black doesn't mean being anti-white. It means being intentionally supportive of Black people, especially in systems in which society has made us marginalized. So we celebrate Black culture and heritage. We embrace Africans, Caribbeans, regular African Americans, other people from the Black diaspora, all those traditions, identities, right? We support Black-owned businesses, creators, content creators, choosing to economically empower Black communities that way. We challenge anti-Black racism. We speak out when we see it. We take action against societies and systems that reach out to harm Black people or their causes. We promote unity and self-determination, encourage collaboration, solidarity, and independence within the Black community. We focus on Black advancement, jobs, advocating education, healthcare, opportunities for Black people. Okay. My question is, does that mean, and a lot of people ask, being pro-Black, does that mean that you are anti-white, against white? No, being pro-Black does not mean you're anti-white. Being pro-Black means is our way of affirming and uplifting Black people and culture, especially in systems in which we are systematically oppressed and marginalized, historical oppression. It's about promoting unity, justice, empowerment for the Black community. Sort of like people say, well, how can you be pro-Black and not be anti-white? It's sort of like we're all from the human race, right? But we support this human race, or we support this side of the human race, but we're not against this. Like we support breast cancer, but we don't hate the other cancers, right? And like Black Lives Matter, we it's not that we say Black lives are the only ones that matter. Black lives do matter. So do other lives, but we hold up the Black Lives Matter because that is our side of the coin. That's what we highlight as a group. Okay. And a lot of people, they criticize the Black pro movement because we call out racism, and where primarily white people have been the benefits of this racist system. A lot of people may think that it's anti-white. It's not an anti-white movement. It's just a pro-Black movement. That's usually the misunderstanding that a lot of people get, rather than a fair assessment of the movement's goals. We're about pride, justice, unity, love, not hate against another race. And people think when you're pro-Black, you're against the other. We're not against another race. Another question: can you be Black and love a white person? Yes, you can absolutely be Black and love a white person. Being pro-Black means that you're committed to uplifting Black people, supporting Black culture, standing against anti-Blackness. It's about your values as a Black person, your advocacy for Black things, your pride in being Black, and your identity, not about who you love. However, this topic is very complex, it's very controversial, and some people in the community may feel strongly about dating somebody white and them being Black. Okay. So why do some people question the fact that you're Black and you date somebody white? It has to do with several things. Historically, interracial relationships, especially between Black and white people, have a very brutal and complex history, rooted in colonialism, slavery, power dynamics, the white woman, Black man, all of that. So people say, hell no, you can't be Black and deal with nobody white. People say you shouldn't do that because you're trying to preserve your Blackness. You're trying to make sure that you have your line continue, your line as being a Black person to continue. Some pro-Black people believe that dating within the Black community helps build stronger families, support systems, and they push back on mixing races, that it's not a good thing. Fear of diluting. I saw this picture the other day. It was a dude who had a picture of Candace Owens and her white husband and her 2 children. And they said, boy, that man just destroyed his family bloodline. A lot of people think that. There's concern that loving someone outside the community can make a person less connected to the Black struggle or less likely to raise children with a strong Black identity. Okay. But being pro-Black isn't about who you're with. It's about what you stand up for. Okay. If you celebrate and support and uplift Black culture, if you fight against people who say things against Black people, anti-racism, anti-Black, anti-promotion, anti-community, teach your children to be proud of their Black heritage and don't shy away from the realities of the racism. Because I see a lot of people on here say, oh, there ain't no racism. There ain't no more racism. Yes, the fuck it is. Just because you blind don't mean the rest of us don't see it. We see the systematicness of it. Okay. We see the systematicness of it. But if you do those 2 things, teach your children about being Black, fight anti-Blackness, celebrate and uplift being Black, you're living your pro-Black values already if you do that, regardless of whether you have a Black partner or a white partner. Teach your child or your son, your daughter to be proud that they're Black. Don't run around teaching your child that their skin is dark, it's ugly, you too dark, you know. There's all different shapes, sizes, and colors in this Black diaspora. All different shapes, sizes, and colors. And you should love each and every bit of one of them. That's why when I pushed back on that statue. Because we are a diverse group of people. We have rich, we have poor, we have bums, we got nug, we got bumkeisha, we got a whole spectrum. You notice that we the most colorful people on the planet, right? You notice that we got the most colorful, the most imaginative, the most creative, the most interesting. They want to be over here with us. We already know what y'all about. We got y'all. We know what's going on over there. Y'all want to be over here in these spaces. We the ones who make up these slang words. We the one who make up these the catchphrases. The other day, I saw some white boys over there, some whitest of the white boys. I was over on another channel. Whitest of the white boys talking about, let me cook, let me cook, let me cook. We made that up. They want to be over here. They want to be over here. It ain't that we want to be over there. You want to be over here. Where the cool kids is. We sit at the cool table. We have always sat at the cool table. Not that they don't have things of value to promote, or they don't have things of value to give to us. I'll salute you on the things that you get, but God damn it, we got things that we can give y'all too. Y'all come over here because y'all want to be like us. The women getting big booties. The women promoting this, that, and the third. Weave, extension, hair. So if we were so terrible, why would you want to be anywhere like us? So I'm saying this is a beautiful race. Being black is a beautiful race. And like I said, that's why I pushed back on that statue. That statue said, that statue reminds me of my nephew. My nephew made a video, right? And he bought a brand new Mustang. And he gets out of the Mustang and he says, slams the door, and he turns to the camera and he says, "Bitch, I'm here." And I said, "Did my nephew what?" He said, "Bitch, I'm here." And when I see that statue, that's exactly what goes through my mind when I see that statue in Central Park in New York Times. I can hear her saying, "Bitch, I'm here." There's 3 main statues in that Times Square. 3. There's 3. Y'all, you have to look it up. There's 3 main statues. Bitch, I'm here. Every time I see that fucking statue, I get it. Y'all don't like it. It's not attractive. It doesn't represent you. But every time I look at that statue say, "Bitch, I'm here." Out of all the human beings on this planet, they could have picked Halle Berry. They could have picked Michelle Obama. They could have picked Harriet Tubman. They could have picked all of them. Why did he pick the plain, ordinary Bumkeisha? Think about what I'm saying to you. There are 3 main statues of white men, Confederate white men, in that New York Times, and that Times Square. 3 main statues, and they're all white men. But they picked Bumkeisha in her fucked up shoes, in her fucked up jeans, wearing not a bra. According to y'all, she has a bra on, but according to a lot of people, she didn't have no bra on. Sloppy clothes, fat, beads on her hair. They picked Bumkeisha to stand next to those 3 fucking historical figures. And I think about the significance of it. Why did you pick her? It wasn't to humiliate. The black guy didn't do that to humiliate her. He did it to say, "Bitch, I'm here." No, if she didn't have no bra on, them titties would be down on her fat stomach. They would be down there, and her nipples would be aimed at the ground. Her nipples would be aimed at the ground, and she didn't have no bra on. Go back and look at the statue. That's how I know she had a bra on. That's what I'm saying. But if they are, I mean, it looks. Who are the others supposed to be? Who are the others? What's supposed to be? The 3 statues, the other 3 statues? Oh, I have no idea. So I'm saying we are living in a pro-black time where they want to be over here where we are. I told you I went to a white channel and that boy was like, "Let me cook. Let me cook." And I had never heard a white person say, "Let me cook" before. I was like, what? How the hell did that get over here? In this whitest of the white space. "Let me cook. Let me cook. I'm finna cook your ass." He was like, "Let me cook your ass." I was like, "What? White boy? What?" We black people came up with that. We are the most imaginative. We are the most creative. We are the most wanted, most feared, the most desired beings on the planet. It's not about being anti-white. It's about being pro-black. We are living in the most pro-black time of our lives, regardless of your partner's race. It doesn't matter whether your partner is white or black. It doesn't matter. It matters about what you stand for, what you do in your daily life. Do you make sure that you have pride in your people, your offspring? Do you make sure you have pride in the things you do? Do you stand tall and firm as a pride? Something black, something feared, something intelligent, something wanted, desired, needed. They want to be over here with us. You talking about black fatigue? What you mean black fatigue? How the hell is it? Y'all, I looked at this the other day. How the hell is it that we are only 13% of the world, 13% of this country, and you tired of us already? We done hit the world and this country so tough. Is you tired of us already? We done saturated your shit. Ain't you about 60% of the goddamn country? How the hell you tired of me? How you tired of me? And I'm only 13% walking on this planet. I'm only 13%. How you tired of me already? I'm like, we just rolling. We rolling out here. We just rolling out here. We only got the chance to be and express ourselves in the last 50 years. Y'all been on this planet hundreds, thousands. You've been over this joint 200-300 years. And in the last 50 years, we done roll up on y'all saying, bitch, I'm here. Bitch, I'm here.
I think that phrase got stolen from us too. I think black fatigue was supposed to be the fatigue of black people, and it got repurposed.
I know, right?
It got repurposed.
I'm like, how y'all tired of us? And we only been rolling, doing our own thing for the past 40 years. And how you tired of us already?
That's whoever is in charge of the media, they got good propaganda. That's like, think about this. This is inherently racist to say black fatigue, because you're not talking about black people. No, right. You talk about a select few black people that do some ratchet and ghetto stuff, ghetto behavior. That's not the majority of black people. So to say black fatigue, you saying you tired of all black people, right? Because of a certain amount of people that do that stuff. We tired of them people too,
right? But that don't mean. But just think of it. We only been doing our own thing for the past 40-50 years. Y'all been over this joint 200-300 years. What do you mean you tired of us already? We just got here. We ain't even hit our fucking strides yet. How you tired?
We did. We've been hit our stride. But
I mean, in terms of catching up,
still ain't get up yet.
Right. So
we was, man, it in post. I don't even want to go down that road. I
ain't either.
But we had our own. We had our own.
Right.
And we was doing our own thing. And in certain places, certain people got jealous, and they took it away. And then nothing happened in those places like Tulsa, like Rosewood and stuff like that.
I was just listening to that.
So I mean, and there's been other places, Central Park.
Right.
There's other black communities that was disrupted like that because black people was thriving. Right. And I mean, with integration, I mean, segregation is both a good thing and a bad thing.
Right.
I mean, it just is what it is. I'd say culturally, it was more to the detriment of us than it actually helped us, because it made us start to rely on people outside of the community. That's why our dollar don't stay in our community now. That's why we have such a distrust for each other within the community. When it comes to
our money, I get it. If we made a concentrated effort to build back up what we needed to build back up the way they did it within years like Tulsa, Oklahoma, like the Wall Street, if we
Yeah.
made a concentrated effort, it'd be something ugly on this planet for real.
You know why those communities thrive, right?
Mhm.
Because people held people accountable and people valued family.
Right. And then
And you what? Yeah.
we
And
trusted, and we put a one thinking cap on,
mhm,
and we had a common enemy. You know how you have a common enemy, and then you go against that one enemy. All of us, we're gonna go against that one enemy, and we're gonna thrive. And what did we do? We rose up out of the ashes, and then y'all tried to burn us down, or you burnt us down.
oh, they burned it down,
But we
blew
not
it up, burnt it down.
Yeah, but we're not here. We're not here to go against white people. That ain't what we
Mm-mm.
doing.
I'm
But
just saying that's just the reality of it.
reality.
But
Yeah,
now
yeah.
in the majority of the poorer or disenfranchised Black communities,
Mhm.
they don't need nobody else to come in and do it because we're doing it to ourselves
Right.
in those communities.
In those communities. So we really see, even if so, let me finish out for what I was talking about. Let me finish out. Even if you do fall in love with somebody who is not Black, that love should not cancel out any kind of activism, any kind of advocacy, any kind of thing that is pro-Black, and you're focused on being part of the community. That don't take it away. Don't take it away from that. You should never make it a compromise of your values, but you should be love, and what you are like that is totally separate. It cannot be, because I can love somebody white and be pro-Black.
Yeah.
I love me.
Right? Yeah,
Right?
I just happened to fall in love with that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't fall in love with my wife's whiteness.
Right.
She could have been anything. It didn't make a difference to me. I
Yes.
didn't fall in love with her. I gotta get me these white girls. Ooh, and I was like, no, man.
She just happened to align with whatever he wanted to align. I mean,
and this brother's out here. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's some men that's like, I'm only going to date Black women, but it's other guys that like, I like women. I like all different types of women in every shape, form that they come in. I just like women. It's just that's just some people. But that don't mean that I've never turned my back on my community. I've never down talked my community. I only want the best for my community. I want my community to strive for excellence and do it together. And do it together. Stop taking away from your brother. That's your brother. You might not be blood, but that's your brother. That's why I don't use the N-word. If you ever notice, I don't say it, because I'm not gonna call you that.
Right. And that's a decent. I very rarely use it. I use it if I have to, but if it crosses me to do that, I will. It just is what it is. I got a question for you, Jay. We got a question for you. So you say pro-Black. What does it mean? Do you promote pro-Black every day? How do you promote that to your child? Do you promote it to your child, or you don't, or you just let them be what they are? Do you encompass anything in that? Or have they asked you, why are you darker than me, or whatever? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, how that goes.
I not so much teach them. Like I don't go into the whole this they be on Black people, but they doing this to Black people. I try to they coming in right now. I try to teach them hey.
You need to call? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a question. It's a fair question. I'm dropping the link for anybody who wants to come up and pose questions, who has some interesting answers regarding how they express themselves pro-Blackly. I mean, I don't go out there and be like, hey, I'm pro-Black. Hey, I'm pro-Black. I don't do that. No. Okay. But do you and I understand the Black fatigue thing. I get that too. People say the Black fatigue thing. I'm not saying I get that I have Black fatigue. I'm saying I understand the Black fatigue the way it's supposed to be used. It's supposed to be used, but I don't somebody kidnapped that damn phrase, and it's like I was like stunned, thrown back on that black fatigue shit. I was like, what? Wait a minute, hold up. Wasn't that black woman who said black fatigue?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to be ignorant and start the white fatigue. Yeah, I ain't want nobody jumping on. I already got, because I made a couple videos, I already got white supremacists on my channel calling me all kinds of names. So
I got ignorance fatigue. That's what I got.
Right.
On any side.
There you go. There you go.
But I can answer your question from before, though.
Go ahead.
So like my parents, I was just telling a friend today, we went out for coffee because my house was being showed. I was telling them, my parents never told me, oh, the world is going to treat you different because you're black. Mm-hmm. They never did that. So I never had that in my mind from the victim standpoint. And I don't want my kids to have a victim mentality to think that anything that happens to them is because of their skin color. Mm-hmm. There are going to be racist people out there that's going to do stuff. You can't get away from that. That's just the reality of life, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to raise them in a victim mentality. And I am going to tell them to be proud of both of their cultures. I can't teach them the other culture, so that's her responsibility, right? I can only teach them my culture, and I'm going to teach them my culture from my familial standpoint. Mm-hmm. And the people in history that have made an impact on the black community, but mostly just from my familial standpoint. That's it. This is where your dad came from. This is where your grandma came from. This is where your granddad came from. We came from humble beginnings, and we're doing this. We're striving to be better in our lives to make your life easier so you can be better for your children. Right. That's how I teach it. And the pro-black thing, she'll have to see me as an example, and she'll have to come into that on her own. Because I don't really preach blackity black stuff. I get the books to influence, to show her positive black influences. There was a book that I think Michelle Obama or something did at the time. It had like black female astronauts, black female poets, all this stuff. I get her that stuff, so she has those as an example. There's a Love Your Hair book from, so I give her those examples of that, and I want her to be closer to her family. It's going to be easier now that we're moving back, but it's just that's where I come from it. But I don't like, oh, we're gonna wear a dashiki on this day and we're gonna do all this.
Hell yeah.
But right. You are mixed. The world, just know that the world is gonna see you a certain way. Just know that you're gonna get it from both sides potentially. Just love who you are, and don't let nobody tell you who you should be. That's what I do, and I'll do the same for my son once he gets older to actually understand that stuff.
Absolutely. You all hit the like button coming in, please. Super chat and cash apps are welcome. Thank you very much. Project Leroy. I don't know. Did anybody time that person out? That person that did that egregious stuff in the chat the other day, was he timed out? Do you know, or blocked?
Oh, that guy that said that thing? Oh, I put him away for a week.
Oh, okay. I don't know I don't remember the name. I don't know.
No, I put him away for a week.
Okay.
I put him away for a week.
What somebody say?
I don't even remember, but he said
he was talking. He was wilding. He was like, "You injures black, you injures that, and you injures this, that" in the chat, just in capital letters. So I'm like, oh no, we got to block you. We got to put you away, bro. Because they don't.
If we talk about the same person, he went away for a week.
Went away for a week, right?
Yeah,
right.
Well, you know how trolls do. They just make a different link and come up and do the same thing. That's interesting.
I dropped a link in the chat. If anybody wants to come up and speak on the pro-black matter, we would greatly appreciate your viewpoint. You don't have to be on camera, but you do have to speak well and articulate well. Thank you very much. I would appreciate it. We would love all the points of view up here. So please hit the like button, hit the super chat and the cash app. We're donating. Please donate. Please do the donation thing. I'm asking for the super chats and the cash apps. We don't want to work for free. This is a good content stream. Tonight, we're going to have a good content stream. So please, thank you very much. Black America, sir. We have a bone to pick with you, but go say what you got to say.
All right. Well, let's get the smoke out the way. Go ahead and do what you're going to do. What's the bone? I like bones.
You said, or I don't know. Well, maybe you meant just a little bit of maybe
he said it. Don't back down now, HQ. Come on, hit him
No,
with
no,
the smoke.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember.
Smoke him
I
out.
said it. I
You
said it.
said it.
Come on.
You said
What
all
it?
African people were, all African women were ugly.
I didn't say all. I did not say all. It's women. It's some beautiful women like off the coast. It's different places in Africa where the women are beautiful,
Oh, wait,
but they don't.
wait a
But
minute.
they don't. They don't have that. Oh, Gambia. Gambia has beautiful women,
Hold
right?
on, hold on. Night-ish. I would welcome you on the panel. You can come up. You ain't got to be articulate. You know what the hell I'm saying. You ain't a nug. Come on up here. Stop that. Okay, thank you, Black America.
Smoke him out.
But
We
women. Let's
say ugly Black African women.
yes,
Yeah.
African. I said African women, right?
No, you said
So-
no. You said African featured women. That's right.
African featured women. Yes, I'm gonna stand on that.
Tayana Taylor is African featured for real.
She is not cute to me. I'm
What?
sorry, she's not. Tiana Taylor is not cute,
Bro.
Oh my God! Did you hear him, Jay? You got to get him.
You know who was cute? What's the bald headed chick that Kanye West turned out and she turned into all kind of freaky? The bald head chick that's famous enough, Amber Rose.
White girl?
She don't look African.
But she's cute. But she's from Africa though.
Amber Rose is African? No, she ain't.
Yeah, she is.
No, she
Oh,
not.
hold on,
Wait a
man.
minute, hold up. Now, wait a minute. Read this. Let me read
Better
this.
type-
Don't worry, I got it.
Once
Don't worry,
again,
Never heard
once
that.
again,
an American model.
we come
She
in
was
all
born in
shapes.
Philadelphia.
But I'm telling you, her lineage is African. I'm serious.
Hold on. Jay, thank you for the super sticker $6.99. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And to Healism, thank you $4.99. Thank you for the super chat. Please, cash apps and super chats are welcome. Thank you very much. Please come up on the panel. We would love the comments. We would love you to have comments and talk about this pro-black. So, are you pro-black, Black America?
I am not pro-black. No, I am not. But I'm about to show you something right now. Hold on a second.
Her mom is
Don't.
Okay, hold on. No. Can you see this? You see that?
Yes.
Girl, I don't do no weird shit. You see this?
Yes, correct.
You see? So my 7-year-old that's in school, you know, who is an influential Black woman to you? This is who my 7-year-old is. Okay. Y'all, you see who that says? What does that say? Can you see it?
Yes, Coretta Scott King. We see it. Yes.
Right. And she
Coretta Scott King was white. No, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing.
Wait a minute. Where the hell
I just wanted to see HQ face.
So yes, I don't do the pro-black thing, but
why don't you do the pro-black thing? You're Black. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Wait a minute. Wouldn't being Black wouldn't that be inherently pro-black?
I was about to say it got to be inherently, unless you are
yourself.
No.
COO.
No, so
you got to be pro-black. You got to.
No, so this is the way it works, right? If you guys ever speak with a Mexican or a Guatemalan or somebody from Honduras or any of those people, to us, they all look Mexican, right? But they do not. If you call a Mexican a Guatemalan or something like that, you almost need to be prepared to fight.
Fisticuffs.
Right? Are you aware of that?
Right, but you're not from Africa or
Caribbean. We are Black American.
Right.
We are not. Black encompasses. Have you ever been to Panama and seen what them people look like in Panama?
You consider
or Puerto Rico? What I'm saying is when you say black, it's just skin tone. So that's
No,
why I
black doesn't encompass just skin
It's
tone.
culture.
It's
It's a
culture.
Black American culture.
there you go, a Black American culture.
You have the same Black American culture as me and skin tone as me.
Okay. So when the pro blacks say pro black, you have to really kind of deep dive into it and look at what they are talking about. They are talking about an African heritage and African lineage. That's why they be having all them funky colors on. That's why
No,
they be
pro black.
African Bambaataa, the
No, no,
Zulu Nation, Askari X.
So you don't think that us black people have our own black movement, our own black culture. Pro black is a
Black
term referred to.
American.
Yes,
But
attitude,
that's
ideology. It's a movement that supports and uplifts black people, regardless of whether they're African, Caribbean, or whatever. It's still about our culture. Our identity.
exactly. But it's not. It's not. It's not that we are not the same as them people.
No, we have our own.
Have you ever been? Right? Have you ever been to Africa?
No.
It's in my heart.
Bullshit. They
So
will run.
They would have their own culture and
Africa's a continent.
But that would be a whole nother continent. But we as Black Americans are black over here, pro black over here, and our attitude, our ideology, our culture, our identity is all we all have the same black experience, except we have variations of wealth and that kind of thing. But we all are black.
You see what I was saying to you earlier on your live earlier, that we can't come at it because everybody coming at it from a different angle. Pro black means so many different things to so many different people.
It means a lot of different things. And when the pro blacks say pro black, they are talking about everything that encompasses black people like us. They talk about Africa all the time, the African diaspora. When you hear that, I freaking run away from it because I am not like
Pan-Africanism.
Yes.
Let me hold on. Let me read this one super chat and then y'all can get into it because I'm thrown off. You got me thrown off. Black America. HQ, $20 from Miss Walker. HQ, all respects. Hugs and love. Thank you for coming up last night. The evil troll meant it for evil, but it proved a point in a positive way. F that snake. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So
yes. So the African diaspora, Pan-Africanism. When you say pro-black, this is what those people in the pro-black sector, this is what they mean. And that if you don't understand that, you really need to kind of do a little bit deeper of a dive. We are not like any African culture, not in America.
Yeah. We not African.
We not African. So when the pro blacks say that, they are talking of
right.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying is, why do you feel as though the Africans are the only ones that are pro-black? There are pro-black Americans too.
We just as much as African as Mexican is African.
Hold on, Ty. What do you mean?
No.
Black America. What do you mean?
No. When Black Americans, I don't care about no Africans, right? I don't care if it's a genocide over there. I don't care about any of the stuff that happens over there because that does not have anything to do with a set Black American person, right?
Okay.
Now, when the pro-blacks are talking, they are talking about Marcus Garvey. They are talking about the rulers and the dictators over there. You really need to understand what those people in the pro-black sector, when you say pro-black, that's what they are talking about. They are talking about everything that encompasses black. They are talking about the Caribbean. Jamaicans I don't even consider Jamaicans black. I consider them African. And a Jamaican will tell you that they are African. They're not black.
But,
I assume Jamaican. I don't.
before this discussion, we're speaking in terms of Black American pro-Black. We're speaking in those terms. We understand that they have separate their own separate culture, ideology, all of that. We get that. So I'm talking about pro-Black American.
Yeah. So and unfortunately, I don't even, I think and this is my big gripe with it. I think we as Black Americans, we need to find a whole new name because, like I said, if you ever worked with any Africans, if you ever been around any Africans, you will be like, what is wrong? They are not the first uh, brown skinned Black person to call me uh, with the hard ER was an African, right? So,
because they're
and
not.
that's
Yeah,
because
they
they don't like you.
they
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 don't like
they
me.
they
They
not
tell
us. We
they
not the same.
Right, go
Let
right.
me. Yeah, you know I'm itchy. First of all, hello HQ. That was very cool what you did on Smell the Roses channel. Salute to you. I was proud of you. Shout out to my brother Jay Tillman, Black America OG. What up, though?
What up? What up?
So,
yeah.
you said a lot, Black America. So, one thing I'm gonna say is we are the original people of the word black. Black Americans are the original people that were called black. They weren't even using the word black
In
in other
Africa.
parts of the world.
Mhm.
That's right.
Africa, wherever is black people. Now there are melanated people all across the world. This planet started with melanated people. That's just a historical biological fact.
Right.
But the word black
Mhm.
originated with us, just like so much of the things that we do start here and spread through the world. Now, as far as what you saying, you're conflating pro-black with pan-Africanism, and the people that do follow Marcus Garvey are pan-Africans. They're not
Right.
the Dr. Umars. They're not
Yeah, you got to say it three
Right.
pro-black.
times.
Pro-black would be more to the Black Panthers who are doing people for the Black American community. We
Right.
got a group called New Era Detroit that go to all the hoods in the country and do black stuff for black folks. That's pro-black. Pro-black is regulated to Black American stuff, but everything we do is exported around the world. So even our culture, our intellectual properties is always everything we come up with. Like HQ was saying, our slang, our lingo is always spread across the world. But black people, the black people as a title for people is for Black American people, and you are pro-black if you care and love about your people, because every race is pro whatever race they are. So you are inherently pro-black unless you just have an anti mindset against your people. If you ain't rocking with black people, if you think all black people ghetto, if you think all nigga shit and this and that, if you on that type of time, then you're anti-black, and that's why we even have to come up with pro-black to bring uh pride into, yeah, we go through a lot. We started through a whole lot of bull crap in this country, but we still proud to be a people that's still standing and still creating. I think you're born, if you are, if you love your people, you are born pro your people off top. You know what I
It's
mean?
like inherent. I would think it was inherent that because you love you would love yourself, then you would automatically be pro-black or pro-white or pro-whatever, right? I mean, that would inherently be that way unless there's a self-esteem problem. So, because
Yeah.
I've never known anything other than to love myself, of everything, every facet of me. So that would automatically make me pro myself.
Yeah,
So I
Hmm.
I
understand.
never rocked with that. Go back to Africa and get in touch with your roots. Every we can say, yeah, everything started in Africa, but that's a long time ago, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. That don't got nothing to do with who we are as a people now. We are a people created in America. I've read
Yeah.
books about white people. It's a book called They Came Before Columbus. It was a white man who wrote that book in the 60s. And he talks about all the influence of American culture by black people
Mhm.
before slavery. Everything he talked about was black people and what we did in this country before slavery. We didn't come over here with we weren't introduced to this country through slavery, and that's why we
Your
knew how
introduction, no.
to. That's how we knew how to till the land. That's how we knew how to make routes. How are people leaving from Alabama and making it to Illinois and they never been here before and have no history here? We already knew what was popping over here long
Uh,
before
let, let,
slavery.
Okay.
let me tell you something. Christopher Columbus. Okay, for you people I was a history major in college. Okay,
Hmm.
that's the only
Hmm.
class I ever went to. Right? When like real shit, I went to college to play football. I didn't go to college for nothing else, but I loved history.
Right.
When Christopher Columbus came to America, he sent a letter back to the Queen, right? And he was trading with the people that were over here. When he picked up the gold that was already here in the Americas, when they got back, they called it Gouda, right? That's what they called it. You can it's all written down if you read the Christopher Columbus letters, right?
Mhm.
Gouda, which was their gold. Okay. They can still trace that gold that the people from Africa brought over here to America before Christopher Columbus got here. They can still trace that gold back to Africa. Okay, which means that it was already people from Africa here with the Indians and living and things like that. But
Mhm.
people don't understand black people have a lot of American Indian in them, right?
Mhm.
Because we were already native to the natives. Black people, when Indians, when they talk about slavery, yes, black people were let's say slaves to the Indians. But it was a difference when a tribe took over another tribe, they would say, "All right, HQ, you are now part of my tribe. You're going to marry my son," right? Which is a full blown Indian. So that's where the mixtures of black people and the Indians started coming in this country. Christopher Columbus sent a letter back to the Queen, Queen Isabella, and said, "Listen, I need more ships. I need attack dogs and things like that so we can come take over this country."
Because it's just sitting.
Mm.
Be, be, well, because of the people that were here already, right? You had people that was here already, so you need to remove them and get them out of the way. And then also, they have gold, they have riches, they have all of this land. They're so smart. They got everything. So we were already here. We were separated from them.
Mhm.
We
We
agree.
are
I agree 100%.
and so we've been here for years and years and years and years and years. We
Hmm.
are not like we are not like those other people. And I just implore you, when you look at the black pro black people, they're always talking about the Marcus Garveys. They're talking about the Malcolm X's. They're talking about Mansa Musa. They're talking about all of these people. Marcus Garvey was goddamn Jamaican.
Right.
He wasn't
Yeah,
even a black American.
that's
Like,
them Pan African dudes though. They ain't on what we be on.
Don't
Them
say it
Pan
another
right.
time.
Africans.
Don't say it again, because he'll show up on the panel.
Oh
Who,
my
Marcus
God,
Garvey?
not
So,
nah. Talk
He
about
did. Marcus Garvey.
Mulatto Garvey,
Pan,
Mulatto Garvey.
Oh,
Columbus landed in the Caribbean, though, didn't he? He didn't even make it to like
United States.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Yeah,
no,
what's known now as the
no,
contiguous
no.
United States.
So what it was that's why they called them Indians, because he thought they landed in India. It's a whole, like I said, it's a whole little history of it, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's a real simple search. If you guys type in Black Indians, you're gonna see people like you, HQ, with nice,
hmm
long, beautiful hairs, like all of our grandmothers. Like,
Mhm.
we look at all these
I
chicks
seen
now, and they
HQ.
all bald headed. We
She
we
had the
see they
face
all
on.
bald
Yeah.
headed. My grandma had long, beautiful, flowing hair down to her waist,
Yeah.
right, dark as ever. She was Blackfoot and Cherokee Indian.
Mhm.
They
That's why
are they
all black
Yeah,
people always say they Cherokee or something. Like my grandma, my granny used to say that all the time because
Yeah.
they know that um they know the history of the how we were here with the
because
Native Americans.
Right.
right, because it was passed down there. It was passed down. We used to go, my family, we used to go to reservations in the summertime for summer break and stuff like that with our extended family. Like,
Yeah.
so it's a complete difference. Our hair is not Ethiopians. Yes, they got good hair. Our hair is not rolled up tight most of the time like that. For see African, if we are just a different people,
Yeah,
we have evolved differently than Africans.
So
It's,
how?
You
So
can it
know,
be
like,
true though? And it has. I mean, it has to be both.
right,
Because some of us are descendants from the people who came here before slavery, and
right.
some of us is descendants of slaves.
yeah,
We
yeah.
all
But
didn't
well,
come from
they
the
but a
they
lot of
beginning.
them
enslaved,
slaves were
they
here
enslaved,
already.
they enslaved the people that were already here.
Here, yeah,
Yeah,
they
but I
didn't.
mean, the people that they brought over in the transatlantic slave trade,
Yes,
some
they
of us
did
got to be
some of those
descendants of
too.
them as
some
well.
of them
Yeah,
did mix
Yes,
into.
yes. Well,
Yep.
well because in 18, I want to say 1810, they stopped the slave trade, which means they could bring no more slaves. It was 1810 or 1804. They stopped, cold blooded stopped the Atlantic slave trade. So then they had breeding farms.
hmm
This is where the term MFer comes from, and if you don't know,
yeah.
it's
I
it's
know.
mother
No, I know.
effer.
Yeah.
hmm
So and that brown paper bag, they would put a son in a pen with the mother. They put brown paper bags over their head and
So
have
you
them
wouldn't know.
breathe.
hmm
So they wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so because they started breeding the girls at 13. Once a boy hit 13 or 14, then they start breeding them. So it's a we are Black Americans.
Right.
Where
Hmm.
we don't have anything to do with them Africans. When those other people say pro-black, they're talking about everything. They're talking about the Jamaicans, they're talking about the Caribbeans, the Haitians, they're talking about the Africans. We are not like those other people. So that's why I have a problem with the term pro-black,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm I don't know a word of African or African.
Yeah, but we're
I
not
know
That's
talking.
not
more
my that's
Spanish.
not my definition of pro black though.
But
Yeah,
we're
I'm talking
my
about current. I'm talking about current black people
right.
in the progression of our people as a community, just like everybody else, just like the little hat community does.
Right.
There's no reason we can't do the same exact thing. There's nothing holding us back other than ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, yeah. There is. You want to know what it is, Jay?
Right.
I'll
What's
give you
that?
the biggest secret. You want to know what it is?
Right.
Our women won't marry us.
That's what I said. Ourselves, our community, ourselves. They do
It,
marry us,
it's
but
it's not
it's not the same.
it's not a good enough percentage. It's not a good enough percentage. It has to be a decent percentage to make. Uh, if somebody told you that you had a 25% chance to live, you're not gonna you're not gonna take that chance. Natural KRC, I hope she's here, and I'm not talking about her in a bad way. She's a beautiful young lady, but
Right.
she has all these stipulations on why she will or won't accept a man. I'm sorry, bitch, you
uh,
gotta accept a man because men
Okay.
already picked you. We have all. I already picked you. Jay picked you. Ty Pro picked you. We have already picked you. We fucking want you, but I don't want no kids. I want this.
Yeah.
I want
Do you
that.
got
I
do you
want
gotta
this.
call her a Beto when you talk about her?
No, 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 no. I'm not talking about her in directly. What I'm talking about as far as women. We have our women with all of these standards and all of these barriers and all of these roadblocks. And once they're not HQ. HQ was nice to her husband, and he was nice to her crazy ass. And
HQ could be
and and
lying
they
to us. We don't know. No.
and and they made it work.
Right.
And let me tell you what my dad told me. He said, "That's your woman. You accepted her. Now you have to deal with her craziness.
Right.
It's up to you. Get with a woman that you can deal with her craziness because they're all crazy. You just have to find one that you can deal with her craziness. And
Absolutely.
now the men are running around looking for women, and the women are saying, "I don't need you." Like, I mean, so we can't be like them if we won't have a community. Women and children are not community. Anybody can always go in and destroy a bunch of women and children because they don't mean anything. It's the men that actually bring the community together. The men build stuff. The women bring sandwiches and drinks.
So what?
It's
So what?
both,
So
man. You can't look at it like that, man. If I'm playing chess with somebody,
Mhm.
every piece on that board has a different role,
Right.
and within the game it has a different value. But you can't play the game without all the pieces.
Right.
And we fail to realize that because even HQ earlier, HQ was saying that these women are autonomous. They want to be their own self-contained people.
Right.
And within our community, listen, within our community, we've given up on sacrifices because people want to be their own person.
Oh, here we go.
So in order to have a family, you have to value family over yourself. It can't be, well, I'm not going to listen to him because I'm not going to have no man telling me what to do.
I
It
love that.
can't be that. You have to
I
find
love
a
that, Jay.
good man.
Let me read the super
I love
chats.
it.
Anybody else that want to come up on the panel, please come up on the panel. Anybody want to come up on the panel? We're having a discussion. But we don't want to go down the rabbit hole of relationships. I hate DNP conversations. We talking about pro-black. Let's stay off the
This is pro-black. Well, this is pro-black family.
Serious way, but I'm just saying, let's pull it back a little bit. Mr.
I'm
Walker,
gonna pull it back.
$5. Salute to the panel. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And we have Dark Star 1485. Dark Star 1485 became a YouTube member. Thank you. I thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, I do. With 27 people coming in, please hit the like button. Coming in the door, going out the door, however you want to do it. Please support the channel. Super chats, cash apps, those are amazing. Please and thank you very much. We're having a discussion on pro-black. Pro-black. We have a little hitch in the giddy up with Black America, who says there's no such thing in the United States, and we are trying to convince him to jump on our train. So
we don't want him over. I don't want him over here.
So we had Pan America, no Pan
Mulatto.
Pan Mulatto.
Yes, Pan Mulatto wisdom. Yes. So, peace, family. And I see the title of the discussion. Just so I'm clear, who on the panel is a foundational Black American? Because I'm a foundational Mulatto American. So I just would like to know who is a part of my lineage.
What's a foundational? What does that mean exactly?
A foundational Mulatto American is a mulatto that is the descendant of the founders of the United States. So we could trace our lineage.
You saying your great grandfather was Thomas Jefferson? I'm just
verbatim.
trying to.
Hold on, literally verbatim. That's exactly what I was about to say. We could trace our
Oh,
lineage
okay.
back to Thomas Jefferson. We could trace our lineage back to Leif Erikson. We could trace our lineage back to Langston Hughes. We could trace our lineage back to Frederick Douglass, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
FBA
So
all day.
Frederick Douglass was black, but I'm talking about.
One mic at a time. Frederick Douglass was actually a mulatto.
How can you say one mic at a time when he was talking?
Okay.
Well, I was speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was. But HQ, we listening. Go ahead, sis.
No. You go ahead.
Yes. Well, actually, I had a question. Who on the panel is a foundational Black American? Because I want to interface with my lineage.
FBA all day, man.
Peace, King. Peace. And brother Todd, let me ask you a great question. Now, yes, it's great that we had this awakening. I would say post 2016, maybe 2019. Yes. Now, we should have had this awakening since our inception as an ethnic group, but it's never too late. So, just to sum it all up, do you and will you advocate for reporting all potential illegal aliens to ICE so that we can preserve foundational Black American communities?
Reporting to ICE is not my personal get down. No. But
There you go.
before I
That's what makes us different.
but before I did want to speak to what Jay and Black America was saying real quick before we lose that with the marriage rates, as me being 34 and generations under me, I could tell you that they are looking at marriage a little bit differently. It don't look like that online, but I got a lot of friends I know I got 5 family members that's getting married this year, and my little cousin just celebrated his first year anniversary married about last month. And I do see that the younger generation is looking at marriage in a better light than we may have looked at it. I can't speak to why, but I do like it. Um, like I said, I'll be at 5 different weddings before the end of this year. So
Well,
that's a plus.
that's a great point, and let's go briefly, point for point. With all due respect, if you won't report the illegal aliens that are encroaching within foundational Black American communities, how will you ever preserve foundational Black American communities?
By
Well,
taking up
I,
space and not allowing them to do that in the first place.
thank you,
Hold on, you
Jay.
just said,
That's
Voting
a
people
fact.
in.
and Jay, let me have a dialogue with you because you seem a little bit more intellectual than the brother I just asked the question to. Now, you said taking up
Come on,
space
man.
and not. Well, let's have a
Shots
Right,
dialogue.
fired.
This
right,
guy
Well,
right.
here,
one mic at a
boy.
time. Let's keep it
This
No,
brief.
I'm
Let's
not
guy
keep
gonna
it
allow
brief.
you to
here.
do
So
that,
the
man.
brother,
Why you
but let's not get.
disrespect? Don't
But let's
we
not
don't have to
disrespect.
disrespect each other to disagree,
So
man.
let's stay
We
on
don't have to
topic, brother.
disrespect
All
each
right.
other
So
to disagree. I'm
now,
not
Jay, I
gonna stay
got your
on
point.
topic, and I'm not
No,
gonna
Jay, I got your
interact with
point.
you because you
Well,
disrespecting my
brother,
brother
you're
Ty
being
Pro, bro. I
emotional.
don't
You're being
appreciate that.
emotional. All right. Well, you're being emotional. But
It is emotional. It is emotional.
oh
I'm a
my
human
God.
being. I'm allowed to have emotion.
And this is
I don't
why.
want to have a I don't want to have a dialogue with you if you're gonna come
Well,
in here
I'm
with
not. I'm not speaking to
disrespect.
you anymore. I'm not speaking to you
You don't
anymore. It's
need to
all right.
speak with me anymore. You don't need to be
Yeah.
on the
So let's
panel
move forward.
anymore because
So,
this
brother,
is
let's
not
move.
really about you because
Brother, let's move
you're
forward.
not pro black. You're pro
I go if you.
mulatto.
All right.
Why are
If you
you in
vent,
this
I'm gonna make my point.
conversation? Why are you
You
in the
vent.
conversation?
You want me to answer that?
Checkmate.
How about as foundational black
Oh, I
Americans,
thought
we
you asked
call
me a
in ICE
question.
and deport you from this conversation? How about that?
No one laughed. But back to the
I don't it
seriousness.
wasn't a joke.
One
But
mic, one
back to
mic,
the
one mic.
seriousness.
Hold on, hold on.
You're
And
not in the
Well, yeah,
conversation because you're
please,
not talking about
HQ, please
foundational black
moderate.
American. You're
Please
talking
moderate.
about mulatto Wakanda. We're
Yes,
not talking about that right now.
these are
And then you're
some.
gonna come on the panel and
hold
disrespect
on.
a black man on the panel when you have no place to do that. I would have
All
had a
right. Now that
conversation with you. I would
Hold
have had an
on,
open
Pan.
conversation with you.
Hold on, Pan. Hold on. I just got back. No disrespect for the people on the panel. We're just having a conversation. We don't want to have a conversation in which we're being insulted or a conversation in which we can't get our word out. One mic, one mic. But the whole
Pen,
point is,
pen,
Pan, hold on. You want to have a conversation. You want to be up here and have a conversation with everybody else, then I expect to have a little bit of respect because that was a direct insult, and we don't want direct insults when we want to have a conversation. Nobody feels good when we have insults on the panel. So please.
Yeah, ma'am. And I got your point, and watch how brief my response is. Actually, it is these foundational Black American men that are insulting their own community by refusing to practice self-preservation. I asked a very simple question: what will you all do to decrease and remove the amount of foreigners that are encroaching within foundational Black American communities? And you deflected and got sassy. So, what is the response, brothers? Or do you not have one?
First of all,
let me
stop all the ad hominem stuff, bro. Stop all the ad hominem stuff, man. It's not productive. It's the sassy talk, the all that stuff. I
All right,
answered your
brother.
question directly. I
What
said
was
if
the
we
answer,
take up
brother?
space, I
Hold
said if
on,
we
hold
take
on.
up space within our community, which is owning property, owning businesses, maintaining strong families within our community, whether those families are all black or interracial within our community, you don't allow people to come in and buy out. There is no buying out of a community if you're strong within that community. Nobody can come in and take it away from you or come in and occupy it if you own it all. That's
Right.
All
my
right, and I heard
answer.
your response, and watch how brief my response is. Once again, I'm
I didn't
really
ask
a
for a
tactician.
response.
Well, this is for the listeners, brother, for their engagement and for their edification, brother. You
Okay.
refuse to address turning the faucet off, so you will always be flooded. Checkmate.
So here's my
let me
question.
get in there real quick.
Wait a minute,
Cause
let me say that. Let me
okay,
answer
my bad.
let me ask this question. So since Trump is doing that. Trump is deporting people. He is deporting people. He is deporting at an alarming rate. What else do you expect that can occur that the black community, according to you, you seem to think that we can do more, we can do something different. What do you think
Yeah,
we can do, man,
yeah,
that's something other than what we're doing?
I'm gonna reduce all my answers to one sentence. Literally, you can report the illegal aliens in your community that have not been deported.
Okay,
Let me
absolutely. Hi,
let
pro. Go
me
ahead.
let me respond back to this guy here. So in my community, in my city, we buy up the blocks. We are buying up the residences and turning our city back into a black city like it used to be. Detroit used to be Chocolate City.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to pour ice and deport anybody. The best thing that I could do is make sure that the young men that I talk to coming up don't have an insecure, bitter mindset like a Pam Mulatto and have to assault other men. I'm making sure that the space that young men are growing up in, we can respect each other and worry about what is going to make our people better and stronger and not have a weak, brittle mindset to have to call other black men sassy. We don't operate like that. We don't rock like that. So if you want to be insulting young small-minded person and calling ICE every 5 minutes, that's something that you do. That's how you was raised. But most black Americans, most FBAs not raised like that. We solution based and we don't have to call the government to handle our problems. We're gonna take care of our cities, we're gonna take back our cities.
Yes, and
and,
like I said,
and
I
and I
Hold
reduced
got
on,
all
a
my.
question and a
hold on,
statement.
Pan. Hold on, Pan. Hold on,
Oh,
Pan.
All
Black
right.
America, go.
I
Go, Pan. Black
I,
America.
I got a question, kind of a question statement type thing. So California, right? I'm from LA. California has like the fifth or the sixth largest economy. California
Mm-hmm.
has an economy itself larger than countries in Africa.
Right,
Like like literally.
right.
You know what is in California? A bunch of people who they call illegal immigrants. Oh my God. How can California be doing so well, so much better than everybody else in the other country, better than other countries itself, better than other continents? It is because of the people that are there. It is because of the people that are working there. It doesn't have anything to do with, I don't see how somebody can be illegal on the goddamn planet, for one. But it doesn't have anything to do with them not being born here in America, bro. It has to do with the mindset and the family orientation of it.
So it
And
sounds so it sounds like you ain't really for this illegal deportation stuff. You don't care whether they're here or not.
I don't care. They can deport them if they want to. They can put crocodiles in the river when they come across, or shoot them when they come across. I don't
I
care.
wasn't advocating that, but so
Well, well,
you don't care whether the legal immigrants are here or not. You don't care.
I don't care. But it's young men like this with this mindset. This is what I'm talking about, HQ. It's young men like this with this mindset that hurts us all. It's like watching Kendra G. All of those women and all of those broken men, they're all broken toys. They're broken toys. They are things that should be discarded and thrown out. But people see,
Facts.
but
Yeah.
but
Facts.
people keep, bringing them out once every 3 or 4 years. Oh, let me see if this works. Oh, you know what? It don't work. Let me put it back in the closet.
Okay. Thank you.
They're
Yes, and
it's bad.
go ahead,
Let
brother. Go ahead.
let Pan respond. Let Pan respond.
Yes, and HQ, you see that I reduced my responses to 1 to 2 sentences for the
Yes.
flow of the conversation
Go
instead
ahead.
of these brothers that like to preach. But the point is this: I'll go in order. The brother Ty said that the blacks are buying back Detroit. Anyone listening could just look this up. The black population in Detroit is actually rapidly decreasing, while the Hispanic and Arabian population in Detroit is actually increasing. In Detroit, they have a little Mexico. They don't have a little Black America. Checkmate. Secondly, to the brother from
That's
LA,
not a checkmate,
one mic
though.
at a time, brother. Don't be emotional, brother.
Okay,
Please.
Ty, let
One
him,
mic at a time. One
let him,
mic at a time, brother.
let
You
him
know I
finish.
was on mute. I let you be sassy,
Go
and I
ahead,
was on
Pan.
mute.
Go ahead, Pan. Go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am. And, to the brother from LA, literally, he's talking while the black population in California is goddamn 3% of the population, nigga. You have been ethnically displaced out of your communities in Compton, out of South Central, out of Leimert Park, out of what else you had over there? Inglewood. You've been ethnically displaced out of your communities by Hispanics, and you're literally booty clapping for them. So yes, that's my resolve as a mulatto. You blacks, if you want to give up everything, let the foreigners take everything from you. You'll have no communities left. I'll be all right because I'm a mulatto. When you mix everyone together, there'll be mulattoes.
I
So
got to
anyway,
figure out what's going on.
uh,
Yeah, this is
the
why.
Detroit has a little Mexico, Southwest Detroit, a very, very small part of Detroit. And we have small cities of Arabic people. You know why they got a little Arabic town and a little Mexican town? Because the rest of the city is black. Yes, we are getting gentrified like every urban city. So the
Mhm.
white folks moving downtown. I live in Detroit. I'm in Detroit right now. The city is black. Uh,
Okay, stop right
is
there. Stop right there. Stop right there. This is not our conversation. Our conversation is pro-black. Pan is dragging us into a different hole. We're not going to that
as always.
we're talking about being pro-black. Now, Pan, if you want to talk about being pro-black, then that's a different story. But we're not
Yes,
going to
no, I get your point, and I'll ask this, and
hold
then I'll
on,
drop down
hold
for the
on,
answer. Oh,
hold
all
on,
right, go ahead.
hold
Go ahead.
on. So we're not going to go down the immigration hole. We're not going to go down the mixed mulatto hole. We're not going down there.
No, I understand. I
We're
understand.
going down this pro-black hole.
No, you're right. And
So
allow me to ask one question, and I'll drop
go,
down for the answer.
go ahead.
HQ, I got your point. I'll ask one question, and I'll drop down for the answer. The question is, how are you all pro-black? Pardon me. How are you all pro-black? I'll put some respect on your name. How are you all pro-black when you all are refusing to preserve black communities and allowing yourselves to be ethnically displaced? I'll drop down for the answer. Much love, family.
Anybody want to answer that question? I mean, it
No.
is sort of. Mm, mm,
We I
mm,
So the answer ain't just a snitch on ice. Well, the answer is what I gave, Black America gave, and what
right,
Jay Tillman so ethically gave. It's not about just there's other things to do in the community than snitch on ice because America is full of immigrants and it has been for a very long time, and that's never gonna stop. What
right,
we need to do is worry about our communities and worry about the mindset of the new generations coming up more
right,
than anything and
right,
not raising weak men who can't even be respectful for 5 minutes and gotta insult everybody. That's a weak trait. And that's the type of stuff that me and Jay Tillman and Black America don't allow and check. And that's what we do as Black men is
mhm,
check weak mindsets so that we can all get better and stronger.
right,
Checkmate.
There's no reason.
right,
I don't agree with everything Ty Pro said. I don't agree with everything Black America says. I
right,
don't agree with everything Zeus says. I don't agree with everything Aaron said. Divine Photo.
right,
In anybody, I don't agree with everything they say. But
right,
it's no reason for me to throw ad hominem shots or disrespect them and tell them they non-intellectual or
right,
anything like that.
right,
Just like I try not to do with the sisters that come up here when I don't disagree with Tyranny or anybody else or Flora. I try my best not to disrespect them.
right,
Sometimes we cut each other off because there's a delay in the chat and you don't hear the person talking when you're trying to say something,
mhm,
or somebody might pause for a little bit and you feel like that's an opening to say something. But that's not disrespectful. When you understand panel, you understand that that's just something that happens. That's why or Lex, something like that, some of us get up here and my brother, you had to just go ahead and say what you said because I caught that you were in the middle of something as I was talking. That's not disrespect. But there's no reason to get up here and disrespect people for no reason. Just have the conversation.
right.
Why are we up here other than to have the conversation? There's no reason.
Pro-black. Okay, so my question is this. since you can be, so do you agree, Ty, that you can be married and in a relationship with somebody who is not black and still have pro? How far do you tailor, or how far do you go if that is the case? Or does that water down a pro-black person's argument if they're married to somebody that's white? Does that water their argument down for being pro-black, or it doesn't matter, and why?
Well, me personally, I'm not married or married to another race, so I
Right.
can't speak on the dynamics, but I think Jay Tillman always explains it well. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at black men or black women that's married to another race as less than for their people because of their mindset. If you like a Jay Tillman, then I can rock with you about your people. And we don't always agree on how we handle our people, but we both agree on being better as a people. So I can rock with him. If you are a black man married to a white woman and you're like, yeah, this is better and black people ain't ish and y'all just a bunch of monkeys and all of that. If you talking like that, then you're not pro-black. But if you still rock with your people, it don't matter who you marry as long as you carrying that love for your people and that will for your people to get better. I'm rocking with you.
So if you went to a job, and then you went to a job and it was very few black people, and you heard the N word on that job. You heard the N word on that job. Would you ignore it, let it go? Would it be an issue? I mean, just
I've
blatantly.
been in this situation already.
I have too.
I've been in this situation already. I'm not gonna say no names, but I was up here in firefighting school,
Mm-hmm.
right? We in the locker room after training, yada yada yada, and I'm putting my shoes on. I thought I heard it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one other cat in the class. He's biracial,
right?
But I'm the only like black guy there.
Black
He's Canadian. He doesn't have the black experience.
Okay.
He's raised by a white family and stuff like that. But he's still a black dude to me, regardless of like I said, the race versus the culture. Right. But anyhow, I hear something and then I look up and I see the other white dudes looking at me like, oh shoot, right? And then I heard this, and it was like, yeah. I was like, did I just hear? And it was like, yeah. I'm like, who? And they said the name, and I went over, and I said, what what's going? And he was like, no, I just said, yeah. And he said it, and might have been a little bit less of me, but I had to grab a little, and it's not no little person. This guy my size,
right?
And I had a little locker press. Right. And I had to say, I don't want to ever hear that come out your mouth, nobody else's mouth in here. You don't hear me say it. I don't want to hear you say it. And we won't have no problem. He said, my bad. I didn't mean to disrespect. I know you probably say it all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear you say that. Yeah. So that's what I would do. Right. And it never got out of the locker room. It never got out of the locker room because he knew what he did.
Right.
So right. I ain't really put my hands on him, but I let him know that I would put my hands on him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, and that's not, whatever. That might not have been the wise choice to do, and I could have probably got kicked out of the school or whatever. But
yeah, but it's it's a matter of respect. See, you have to set those boundaries when you're pro-black, and you don't allow any of that to go, any of that to pass your way. You have to set those boundaries immediately and say, hey, I don't expect you to say that. I don't want to hear that out of your mouth. That's disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. So I've never heard a white person say, or any person other than a black person say that. So I've never been confronted with it except when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. And and it was to my detriment that I said something, because then other events happened because I said something. And so I learned not to, to be around people that I thought would say something like that, but I've never heard it except that one time in my life. Even though I went to school with all white women, all white girls, because you had to have a little money in order to go to an all-girl school all throughout school. And so I went through school with rich white girls, and I never heard that from any of them, any high school and junior high, or even as a young person. So I never heard it. Right.
I had a same situation as Jay. You handled that perfectly, bro. You handled that situation as you supposed to. So I had this situation happen to me two separate occasions. The first time I was about 23, and Detroit is predominantly black, but the surrounding suburbs are complete opposite. So I was working in the suburbs, and we would have to take a bus to go to a location. It'd be about six black people. We all sat in the back. All the white folks sat in the front. They always controlled the radio, and one of the young white dudes would keep saying the word, and we got older black women on the bus with us. So I came to him, excuse
Oh,
me, I came to him and I was like, yo, you saying the N-word, and these older black women don't want to hear that, bro. Chill out on that. And he was like, all right, cool, my bad. But he kept saying it. And when we stopped and we got out the bus, I checked him again because he was saying it. He was actually pointing to a black person and calling him the N-word. So I checked him, and I guess he felt a little tough, and he gave me a little resistance. And I wanted to get him fired. You know what I mean? I wanted to put my hands on that boy. But I was younger and I was a hothead. So fast forward, this happened a few years ago. I was a manager at a warehouse, and it was a white guy who lived in the hood, and he said it to me like, "What up, my N word?" I was like, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" And we had a dialogue because I've known him for a while. This was the first time I heard him say that, and I checked him, and I had to give him a history lesson. And he was like, "Oh, I'm black. I grew up in the hood, da 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 da." And I'm like, "Bro, being hood and being broke and being poor is not a correlation to being black." And I was
right,
a little more patient when I was dealing with him this time. And we got an understanding about it. And I never heard him say it again.
right,
And I'm sure he'd go home and say it or whatever, but I seen how he really just wanted to be down with me, but it still was a boundary that I was like, no, you can't. I'm not comfortable with you saying that, bro, because no matter how much you relate, no matter how much you listen to black music, you still don't have the experience. He someone to say, "Oh, when I get pulled over, I get mistreated by the cops." That's not a black experience. The whole black experience in totality is the
right,
black experience. You having certain comparisons just means you can relate to how
Yeah,
I came up. Don't make you black and don't give you a
uh,
pass. You know what I
it's
mean?
not the same. Yeah, it's a cosplay, man. You're not like it's not the same. And to be honest with y'all, when another black dude says it, I even feel some kind of way because
right,
I'm like, why
Yeah.
are you calling me that?
right,
I'm not yours. I'm not nobody's. I
right,
don't want to be called that because
right.
I'm not that. So why are you saying it? Even if it's a term of endearment. Endear yourself. Don't call me that. Call me brother.
Let
Yeah.
it.
That's a
Don't do
fact.
that. I don't
That's a
even like
fact.
it, man. I'm just I stopped. I mean, I haven't like I don't even know if I ever really said it. Like me and my close friend group, we don't say that to each other.
Right. Let me
We
read
we
the super
yeah,
chat.
man, it's not the same.
Mr. Walker, $2. Thank you. 100% to J Tillman. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Walker, $2. Good stuff, HQ. Thank you, sir. Mr. Walker, again, $2. Slow welcome, Ty Pro. 100%. Thank you. I see you joined our panel back again, Pan Mulattism. What do you
Yes, ma'am.
contribute to the conversation, sir?
And
Along
thanks for having me back up. I intentionally dropped down so I would not be accused of interrupting or derailing the discussion. And most likely, I'm gonna use this tactic every time. The question is this: while I was gone, no one addressed this particular question. How will you stop a flood if you refuse to turn the faucet off? How will you preserve majority black communities?
let me engage him.
Yes, ma'am.
Let
Yes,
me
ma'am.
engage him.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
So
listening, Queen.
you said, how can we be pro-black and yet we allow immigrants into our neighborhood? That's basically what you're saying, right?
No, what I said was, how can you be pro-black and you allow immigrants to ethnically displace you out of your communities, and you allow the immigrants to take over your communities?
So if that is the case, how would you approach stopping them from displacing us.
Yes, ma'am. And I gave my suggestion initially, which is report all potential illegal aliens to ICE. Additionally, it's imperative that foundational mulatto Americans and foundational black Americans contact Congress and Senate to support legislation to place a moratorium on immigration to the U.S.
Okay.
Additionally, okay, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I
I
hear.
was just trying to give suggestions, but
I
go
mean,
ahead.
I hear what you are saying, and that's for another discussion. But I'll indulge you right now. I mean, I'll indulge you simply because we don't need to do that as of now. We don't need to do that. Nobody has had the incentive to do that in this country. As much as we want to, it is controlled by the people in Washington. The people in Washington want what's happening now to continue. So therefore, it's happening now. Before, years ago, even as a kid, I had people calling to have immigration, to have the wall built, to have people thrown out. They never did anything. The whole point is nobody's going to do anything, regardless of whether I call ICE every day and twice on Sunday. Nobody, no politician has the stomach to do it unless they just have the stomach to do it. So I can call my senator, my representative, I can call as many people as I want to every day, but it won't happen because
Well,
they
well, HQ. Well, can I tell you the power you do have?
you
All
got
right, go
down
ahead.
the rabbit hole, and this is not the hole we want to be in. But I'm indulging you because you seem to think that we have that kind of power because we are a black voting group and we all don't vote the same. You believe because we're black that we all have one specific voting block that can make a difference to whether they get immigration out of here or not. It would have to be on the radar of somebody very powerful and somebody white for that to even happen. And it got on the radar of Donald Trump. So therefore, it's on his radar. He is handling whatever he's handling with this deportation. You're talking about something when the horse has already left the barn. Don't give me stuff about horses already left the barn stuff. They are here. We can't.
Yes. And let me tell you what we can do though. Can I respond, please? And watch how brief. You know, it's always one sentence with me. Literally in real life, I got over 50 illegal aliens deported myself. Now imagine if you got 50. If the other,
What the
what, what,
hell?
one mic at a time, please.
Hold on,
Imagine if.
hold on.
My
How
bad.
you gonna come up here and confess to being a shitty ass human being? You don't have to
What
help.
part was shitty?
Hold
What
on.
part was shitty?
You don't have to help the people get out of here. You don't have to do that. They're doing that all on their own. You don't need to help anybody do that. That's just being mean. That's just being a
What can
thing.
I tell you why we have to do it? Before due respect, the reason we have to do it is because just take the over 50 illegal aliens I got deported myself. That freed up housing units for Black Americans.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't don't
Wow.
don't sit up here and justify why you did that. Don't do that. You did it because you wanted to be a mean and spiteful human being. Every person that I have talked to wants the immigration problem fixed, and we can do that. But you don't need to go and call people and have people deported. That's just being a mean human being. We already
Well,
have
HQ.
that. We already
Can I
have that
ask?
being
All right,
handled.
go ahead.
We already have that being handled, and you didn't need to do that. First off, you get on here and then you talk about being a mulatto, and then you derail the conversation all the way to the left. Why is it black people's fault to get the illegal immigrants out of here? It's not our fault.
Well, let me answer that.
Hold
Can I?
on, hold on. It's not our fight to get them out of here. That's the fight of the people in government who need to do that. We don't need to call anybody. We don't need to be mean. Every person in here knows somebody who may have been Hispanic, who may have been Venezuelan, who may have been whatever. But there's no reason to be mean and callous because these people are from another country. There's no reason to do that. And then you want to be off topic. Then you come up here and you're an asshole when you do it. No, I'm not going to allow you to do that. I'm not going to say it's okay. It's not okay because I'm one of those people that believe immigrants bring character, bring diversity, bring opportunity when they come here. I am one of those people. I am one of these liberal people that you say you hate, one of these democratic people. I am one of those people. Don't come up here talking bullshit about immigrants, because immigrants don't have anything to do with you. Most of y'all ain't never met an illegal immigrant. You've only met people who got a goddamn accent. And that don't mean that they're illegal. So stop talking about illegal immigrants like you know illegal immigrants, because you don't. Those people are going back to countries that they have never even been or never even had an opportunity to explore, because this president has made that happen. So don't come up here with a joyful attitude because they're going over there or they're getting kicked out. No, I'm not going to tolerate that on my stage. I get it that he's doing it, but you don't have to be gleeful in doing that to people. Hell no.
That's the checkmate, HQ. Good job. Because if he's doing all of that, I will hope that he's neighborhood watch. I will hope that he's neighborhood watching, reporting when somebody break into somebody's car. You know, you sound like you want to be a police officer or something like that. That's not. He keeps coming up here acting like his way is the only way, and his way is such a narrow-minded, very weak solution to a problem that's not our problem.
How would that be joyful to you? Just with glee, with
that's
just
not even
joy.
You spoke on it so perfectly, because it's not our problem. And me and Jay and Black America gave solutions about our problems. Right. Detroit is about to elect a black mayor. It's down to two people, a woman and a man. Detroit will have a black mayor, the next mayor. These are the things, and they both have interest in the black community in the city.
Wait a minute, Jay.
This is what we do.
Ty, let me say this. We are pro-black. We are not anti-immigrant. We are pro-black. We are not anti-anything. We are pro. So when we don't deliberately do things to harm other communities. We promote our community. We promote our people. We don't what? Look, when you say and I'm gonna say this. When you say get rid of immigrants, I don't care about immigrants. I'm her. I'm gonna make my money. I'm gonna thrive. I'm gonna rise to the top, regardless of whether those immigrants got those jobs, whether those immigrants got those opportunities. I'm her. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Bitch, I'm here. I ain't worried about no immigrants. Immigrants do whatever. I'm gonna rise to the top. So you talking about, well, we got to get rid of the immigrants because the immigrants got a job. Immigrants got our housing. I don't give a shit about the immigrants having that. I'm going to do what I got to do because I'm going to rise. Regardless of whether the immigrants are here or not. They're going to be there. They're going to be there wherever they're going to be. But I'm going to be where I'm going to be. So
the reason I answered the question the way I did is because if there were strong black communities in the first place, you can't displace us. There's no displacing a strong community. Right. There's other communities that do it. There's no reason that we can't do it.
Right.
You can't gentrify a community where the people is thriving. Nobody's going to, I'm going to go sell this. No, you're not going to do it. I'm thriving. Why would I do that? I could pass this down to my family. Buying the blocks, buying the neighborhood. You can't come into the community and gentrify it. You can't send anybody in to displace it if the community is strong.
Right.
So if we have stronger communities, you can't do that regardless of the situation. I don't care how many people you ship in. They're not going to have no place to go because there's not no houses.
So what I'm saying is don't come up here talking about immigration. We're talking about pro-black, not anti-immigration, pro-black. I get it. Everybody has an idea of how they feel about immigration. I don't care about that because they don't affect me. They can be out there getting all the job. I'm gonna jump and get a better job. They can get all the housing. I don't care. I will get better housing.
There's not going to be any housing because we're going to own it. Either we're going to own it, we're going to get the government subsidies for them coming in because we own it, or we're going to occupy it. And if we have strong black community.
And both
go ahead, Ty.
HQ and Jay, the essence of that mindset that y'all just spoke with is real FBA mindset. Do for self, get it how we gotta get it, and we gonna be on top. That's the essence of being pro-black right there.
Right.
Yes, and allow me to ask a question with all due respect, because this is about pro-blackness. Simple question. HQ, you said you don't care about the housing that goes to the other ethnicities that I don't want to mention because you get triggered. The question is, you don't care that that same housing could have went to homeless Black Americans? Those same jobs could have went to unemployed Black Americans? You don't care?
No, that's not my focus. I'm not saying that I don't
So
care.
how are you pro-Black then?
I'm saying I'm
All right.
pro-black. I'm pro-black because they're not. You're saying we wouldn't
Yes.
get it in spite of them. We wouldn't get it in spite that they're somehow on top of us where we can't get what we want to get. I just move them to the side and I get what I go get. So I
Well,
don't.
I'm just
I
asking a
don't
simple question, not about you personally. I'm
hold on.
speaking about the unemployed. All
Yes.
right, go ahead, because I can tell I can't even complete a sentence. So go ahead, HQ.
No,
I'm
no.
listening.
What I'm saying to you is you're presenting the argument that we won't be able to get anything because they're there. No, we get stuff despite whether they're there or not. That's the whole point. We have to get it out.
I heard that part, but I think
It
you might not have heard me, HQ.
hold on.
All right, go ahead,
So
sis.
it doesn't matter whether they're here or they're not here. We're still going to rise to the top. Me and Jay was saying that when we walked on the platform. We only been here, we only been able to thrive in 40, 50 years the way we wanted to thrive, and yet and still people over here copying what we do. People over here worried about what we say, copying our style, copying our culture, copying our hair, copying our neck, copying all the things we do. Because we are leading in that particular area. We are leading in the culture in this country. We're not worried about whether an immigrant has a long way to go before they can stand in the way of a black person.
All
They're not
right,
standing in our way.
all
And
right.
you keep presenting an argument like we got to get rid of them, otherwise we ain't never gonna thrive.
No, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is literally the corporations and the employers brought illegal aliens to the US to exploit them for their cheap labor. Or in other words, they brought them here specifically to take the jobs from the American workers who will require higher wages. Now, is anything I just said untrue? Let's start there.
So my whole point is, yeah, I get what you're saying, but my whole point is this: don't nobody wants to do those jobs, so they do those jobs. So what?
Well, no, that's not true. Actually, I can name some Black Americans that do those jobs, specifically
But
Black.
they don't have those jobs. But
Well, can I name them, please, sis?
black people don't have
Well,
they don't have
well
those
let's
jobs.
not be contentious. Can we start there? I'm not trying to argue with you. Do you understand that, HQ?
Go ahead.
All right. So the point is this: I can name a specific class of Black Americans that will do the same jobs that the illegal aliens take. Ex-inmates, ex-cons, Black Americans with felonies. You think that they won't do these same exact jobs? Let's have a dialogue, respectfully.
No, I'm not saying that they wouldn't.
Okay, so don't you realize, and this is about pro-blackness. I'm not even speaking about immigrants. This could be any group that's taking jobs away from Black Americans. The point is, you have people that are being selectively hired over top of the Black Americans that are unemployed and homeless. That is just a fact. So that's why I asked you all, and you never addressed turning off the faucet. How would this problem be mitigated if you won't even acknowledge that the faucet is on?
We
One second, HQ.
Go ahead, Jay.
For the amount of illegal immigrants that are coming into the country doing these low wage jobs, there's not enough ex-felons that are coming out of the penitentiary to do these jobs. So
Yes, but
you would still
if you
have a
combine
large
the,
gap of
well, what you're
population
saying is
that these jobs
disingenuous,
need to be
brother.
done.
I'm not saying
How is
only
that disingenuous?
because I'm not saying only ex-cons that do the jobs. I'm saying that they are also unemployed Black Americans that will
I
do those
get that.
jobs.
I get
Okay,
that, but
and
the
they are
amount of
unemployed
jobs that
white
are out there
Americans.
that need to be done
That's what I'm saying. So let's
still
have a
not going to
dialogue.
be. So you
Please,
said
let's have a
I
dialogue.
agree
All
with
right,
you.
you go first. Go ahead.
Hold on, man.
The population of ex-cons that would do those jobs that are Black, yeah, they will probably do those jobs because it's harder for them to get other jobs. I agree with you on that. But the amount of them is nowhere near the amount that's needed to get those jobs done.
But did you hear the entirety, brother? Did you hear the
So who's
entirety of what
the
I
rest
said?
of
I'm
the
trying. Well,
population
let me
that's going to
answer that.
do those jobs?
Yeah, exactly. Let me answer that, brother. Can I answer that without being cut off? It'll be brief.
You keep
Not
cutting me
just.
off in the
All
middle
right.
of
Well, go ahead, make your
asking
point.
you a question or explaining something. You tell me not to cut you off. I'm trying to eloquently establish my viewpoint while addressing yours.
Do you want to answer
Before
though,
you
brother?
cut me off.
Hold on.
And now I'm asking you a question. I want you to
Yes.
allow me
Do
to
you want
ask
to
the
answer?
question with the question mark at the end of it before you start talking.
Okay.
That's a dialogue.
Go ahead. Question.
All right. Do you want to repeat the question? I got it, but do you want to repeat it so you don't feel cut off?
Okay, so for the amount, and like I said, I agree with you. Those black ex-cons are willing to do those jobs, but for the amount of jobs that are available, those ex-cons can't fill all those positions. So what other population of blacks in America are going to do those low-wage jobs?
Yes, and I said it more than once. You're proving that you were not listening. I said the unemployed Black Americans, as well as the unemployed white Americans.
They're not doing those jobs because they would be doing them now
Well, now
already.
you're speculating, brother, because you don't know what
No,
they
they're
will.
not doing those jobs. They're not doing the jobs.
Well, brother,
They're not
let's not
picking
cut
in
each
the
other.
fields.
Well, brother, you're cutting me off now. Let's have a dialogue. Let's have some
Oh,
decorum. The point I'm
finish.
making is you
Finish your.
don't know. Well,
Finish.
let me land my plane. It'll be so brief. I know this is a biased platform. The point is, with all due respect, you don't know what these unemployed Black Americans and unemployed white Americans would do if paid adequately because they are undercut by cheap illegal alien labor. So, in order to accurately see who will work and who won't work, you must first eliminate the illegal alien cheap labor factor, brother.
Wait a minute.
How you
Let
don't
me.
understand?
Let me
Have
ask.
you ever been in a position where you had to hire people? Is that within your scope of employment right now? Do you hire people?
Well, I'm a retired lobbyist, so yes, I've hired people before. What is your point, brother?
So I'm currently in the position where I have to hire people. People don't want to work. Do you know how hard it is to find qualified and motivated people who will stay at your job longer than 6 months to a year?
Mm.
Well, let me respond to that. Where have you been looking?
Everywhere. The people that are looking for the jobs. I can't go out and force people to work. It's the people that apply for jobs. And I know other people in managerial positions that own businesses, very prominent businesses with good benefits, and people do not want to work.
And brother Zay, I hear your testimony. I'm not here to say whether it's true or false, but the conclusion to this debate or this discussion, I'd rather characterize it as a discussion. My conclusion is, all right, to hell with it. Let all of the illegal aliens take all the employment opportunities in your community and let your homelessness rate and your unemployment rate amongst the Black Americans increase because
Let me.
that's what's happening.
Let me answer that. Let
I'm
me
not
ask.
saying I want that either, but I'm just saying it's not as easy as you think to
Can
Well,
get
brother, that's
can
what's
people
can
to
happening.
can
do
I
these
can,
jobs.
can I talk to him right quick?
Let me. Do you have to get off or can you wait?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm finna jump off because I got a guy working on one of my trucks right now. So I just have a problem with you thinking that felons, hey, I'm a felon. You thinking that felons are gonna go pick tomatoes and fruit and shit like that for $5 and $6 an hour. Okay. I I don't understand.
But that's not what I
Now
said,
this is
brother. Respectfully.
hold on. I just don't understand. Even if they gave them $20 an hour, I don't want to pay $5 per orange. I love oranges. It-
Mm-hmm.
for for those jobs, you have classes of people.
Right.
When me, JHQ, Ty Pro, when you make more, you leave those communities that you're saying, those black communities, and then somebody steps in. Yes, I live in a black community, right? But
Right.
I've also got houses in other black communities that when those people start doing better, they leave. Once they make more money, they leave. You act like the homelessness just started. People have been being homeless for years. It's because of them they're homeless. It's because of the drugs. It's because of the drinking. It's because of the lifestyle that
No, I
they're
hear
living.
you. I get it. The illegal aliens are more efficient than you are as Black Americans. I get it. They don't have
But
the
that's
same drug problems as you.
no,
They're
no, no,
not
no.
lazy like you. I get it.
Hold on. You seem to hold on.
All right, I'm done with this dude. HQ.
See, that's that.
Mulatto, bro.
That's
okay.
that.
Peace, King.
Get
Peace.
get a
All right,
life,
much
young
love,
man.
brother.
Like
Much
real
love,
shit.
brother.
Let
Definitely
me
Just know
get a
your love,
life
brother.
because
hold on.
that's
Let me
that disingenuous back and
yeah,
forth. You want to be, you keep defaulting to being black, but then you want to be
No, no,
disrespectful,
no. I'm never black.
disingenuous.
Nothing
I'm
like you.
still talking.
I'm not
You
black.
want to be disingenuous and disrespectful to black people, which you are half black. And because of your experiences and your insecurities and your bitterness, because of the results that your life gave you, you want to get up here and you have a
I live at the beach,
completely,
brother. I live at the beach. I live on the island.
you have a
hold on.
completely disrespectful, disingenuous perspective with every question and every dialogue you trying to have. You're coming from a very disrespectful,
No, I hear
disingenuous
you, brother. What
place.
have I said
You
just now that
don't
was disrespectful?
Hold
it's
on.
your tone, it's what you saying, it's how you saying it,
Yeah, but
and
what did
then
I say that was disrespectful, brother?
it's those
Let me
slide,
hold on.
just how you
Hold
just
on.
said, they not as lazy as we are, and da da
That's
da.
what the
What
brother
are
said.
you?
Hold
What
on.
are
I
you?
agree with him.
Hold on. Hold on.
Your mindset is what's wrong with you. We got ours over here.
Brother,
We
I agree
doing
with the
better
brother
with ours
speaking.
over here.
Wait a minute.
You
Hold on, Ty.
go
Hold on.
ahead, HQ.
Hold on, Ty. Pan Pan. No disrespect. But we up here have accepted what we are. We don't have a disdain for anything that we are. You seem to have a disdain for half of what you are. That comes across very clear. You have a disdain for your black side. It's always in the way you talk. It's always in the way you present your argument. It's always in the way you present anything when you come on a panel. The whole point is we don't have that disdain for black people because you can't help yourself. You can't help yourself, and we have been tolerant, and we have been nice, and we have been cordial. But you can't come up here and insult half of yourself. This is why I had an issue with Black America, because when you have a disdain, you're a black person and you have disdain for black people, I question whether you accept yourself. This is how you presented yourself. I haven't presented myself in any way other than what I am and being black. I told Ty this along a couple weeks ago. I love everything about being black.
Even
I
the bad
love
stuff she loves.
everything about being black, right?
She said
But I
it.
see,
She said
but I
it.
see the flaws. I see the nastiness. I see the bum Keisha. I see the nug nug. But that don't mean I don't have pride in the most imaginative race that has walked the planet. Okay, so
Yeah, I get your point, H.
hold on.
Uh,
When you come up here and you say small brain, disdain, this, that, and the third, we can hear it in your voice. Please don't come up here and be anti anything. We want positive conversations up here. Now, to address what you said, the reason why, and I said this a couple months ago to people, and I'm going to say it right here. The reason why nobody addressed immigration before Donald Trump and before is because the business people and the rich people never wanted to address it, because there is a whole market, a whole series of people that do those jobs on farms, and those people are illegal. Now, they pay them on these farms, in these all these businessmen, they pay them they're under wages that they shouldn't be paying them, but they do. $10, $5, whatever. They pay them and they work their farm and they love it and they send their money back and they do whatever. This is how the economy runs. Okay, great. Is something wrong with them paying them $10 an hour, but it is what it is. Now, if you deport all of those illegal aliens, those jobs are available. You say black people gonna work for those $10 an hour. I say
that's not what I said, sis. Respectfully.
you say, why not give those jobs to the homeless? Why not give those jobs to the prisoners? So you are saying those people will work for those $10 an hour.
Look,
You
no, no.
are.
What I said was they need to be paid
Hold on.
efficiently.
I want to be uninterrupted. So you saying let those people work for those $10 an hour jobs?
But that's
Okay.
not what I said, sis.
So stop it. That's what you said.
That's not what I said.
So
Respectfully.
when they deport those immigrants that work for $10 an hour, those jobs are available. Okay, cool. Who's gonna work those $10 an hour jobs?
Yes,
Nobody.
and
No,
allow me
hold
to
on,
answer that.
hold on. Nobody wants to work those $10 an hour jobs. So therefore, they're going to be empty. In order for him to get those, in order for that business owner to fill those jobs, he's going to have to raise the wage.
Exactly.
Which
Exactly.
means, which means he's going to raise his prices. So that doesn't do anybody any good for the prices of eggs to be $19, $25 an hour. We're going to have to pay it. As the consumer, we're going to have to pay a whole slew of fruit that's going to be expensive. And then he's going to have overhead because he's going to have to raise the prices for us. Ain't no way that he's going to hire somebody that's American when they can hire the illegal immigrant. So therefore, nobody wants to address the illegal immigrant problem. This is an issue. You keep saying something that's not going to happen. Only way it's happening now is because Donald Trump is making it front and center, but it'll cool off soon enough. Once the business owner and the business people say, "Hey, dude, you deporting all my people, all my costs are gonna go up. Now I got to charge more money." Who the hell is gonna work on a farm? Who the hell is gonna work on a farm with you? That is a fallacy. It's the wrong argument. The people want to work there. Let the people work there. They're not taking jobs from other people.
No, I hear you, HQ.
They're not
But
taking jobs from homeless people. They're not taking jobs from people in prison.
well, please allow me to say this, please,
Go ahead.
respectfully. Actually, we could progress the discussion. Now, I agree with you. If you want the illegal aliens to take jobs that potentially could have went to Black Americans, all right, I say go ahead and continue to let them do it. I'm agreeing with you. Just like when the other brother said that the Black Americans have drug abuse issues and unwillingness to work that illegal aliens don't have. I said, all right, well, hire the illegal aliens over them if you want to give your black jobs away. My question is, why am I being mischaracterized as anti-black when I'm literally agreeing with the black people's suggestion on the panel?
Because
You
you're
I'm
not
listening to
not
you all.
because you're not addressing the pro Africa pro black issue that we
Well,
see.
that's what I'm saying.
No,
it's
I'm saying,
not it's
you're talking about illegal immigration. We're not talking about that. We're talking about pro black issues. Now, if you can't discuss a pro black issue without saying, "Oh, you're black, so you're allowing this to happen."
no,
Without
I didn't even say that. What I'm
no,
saying
no.
is,
If you can't have a conversation like that, then I don't need you on the panel.
yeah, sis. I mean, you keep
Right?
and it's
interrupting.
I mean, right? I don't need you on the panel if you don't know how to stay on topic.
I'm trying to stay on
it's
Right?
topic.
Hold on. If you know how to stay on topic, but if you're gonna do something wild, I'm gonna drop you, and then we're
it's
Well,
gonna
it's
not
clear
even
what you want,
I
about
brother.
gotta drop you until I get to immigration, and then you can come back up. But if you don't
Well,
know how
well,
to stay on topic, I got to drop you.
well,
Right? Please.
how
Thank
do
you.
you know if I'm staying on topic or not if you keep cutting me off and muting me?
Let's go.
All right. Am I allowed to stay on topic or will you mute me again?
Like I started. Stay on topic.
And watch how brief my response is. Not only am I endorsing the pro blacks, I even accepted the pro blacks on the panel's stance. You said let the illegal aliens take all your jobs. I said, all right. You said y'all got drug abuse issues and laziness issues.
But we went over that. Did we
it's
not?
not even
Let them
about you
take it.
being pro-black. It's about you being self-hateful and you spewing that self-hate into disrespecting black people. You have
I agree
zero.
with
You have
Hold
zero
on. Hold on.
self-awareness. You have zero self-awareness. You don't look. You don't see how weak and
brother. I
small
disagree
and
with you,
bitter.
brother.
I'm talking. You don't want
Hold
nobody
You
to
on.
cut
interrupted
you
me,
off.
brother.
Hold
Hey,
on.
you ain't talking. But
You
anyway, it's
interrupted me, bro.
about you being self-hateful. It's about you being disrespectful. Don't nobody even want to
Yeah, but I agree with
dialogue
you though.
with you. you are very sarcastic. You're not agreeing with nothing. You
I'm being
just
genuine,
talking,
brother.
and you are somebody who want to bounce back and forth between black and
You're
mulatto and
venting, brother.
this and that. Ain't nobody venting about
Yes,
nothing.
you are, brother.
I'm telling you how you coming across. You need a
All right.
reality check. You need to
All
get
right,
around
brother.
some men. You need to get around some
Whoa,
black
you're gay,
men
brother. You're
who
around.
need. You
Women.
need to get around some men. You need to get around some black men who can tighten your very small-minded, bitter, disrespectful self up and get you in a masculine frame. Because you coming up here like a little biatch. And
That's
Poppy Blanco, what up, bro?
Papi Blanco.
Hey, put a one in the chat if y'all willing to pick cotton for $100 an hour.
Nobody doing that. And just like Black America was saying, he's a truck driver. He make bread. If fellas come out of jail and make money. If people wanted
Y'all
them
wouldn't
jobs,
pick cotton for
Indeed.
$100.
We'd be on
Put a one in the
Indeed
chat
looking for them
if you willing to
jobs.
pick cotton for $100 an hour.
Well,
Why you looking for that
That's an
crap?
emotional
Wait a minute,
response.
hold on. We have not heard from Triple. We have not heard from Triple.
Brother
Triple, sorry
Triple
about
X.
My dog.
that. How can I help you, sir?
well, thanks for letting me up. Hello to everybody. It was an explosive exchange. I didn't want to jump in front of that gunfire.
Don't.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, what should I comment on, the
You
topic
can
or the
comment. You can
immigration?
comment on the pro-black stance that we have.
Okay.
We say, see, first you have to establish that you are pro-black. Are you pro-black?
Yeah, I'm
you
definitely pro-black.
Pro-black? What does that pro-black mean to you? Do you express that within your life, throughout your life?
Yeah.
And do you don't separate between we're talking about pro-black American, if that's the case.
Yeah, for
Pro-black.
sure. Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is like, in the current times, at least, I would say Pan-Africanism is for the most part dead. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's not really active because we can't just pick up and go over to Africa and be just accepted on in. If anything, when they come over here, they're well accepted by Black Americans, you know? So I would say that's not really an active thing right now. And I'm sure at one time maybe it was, but I can't even get an accurate description of how just how big of a thing that was back then. You hear a lot of talk of it, but what really came of it if it was really active back then? So I'll say, like, as far as us being in America, though, like, it's just having a black first mindset, you know, B1 mindset.
You muted HQ.
You muted HQ. You muted, baby.
So Pan-Africanism is the movement by which you try to bring all of the black Caribbean, African, American,
right,
bring them under one umbrella.
Right.
That's what Pan-Africanism is.
Right. But that's to a degree it is. It's a little bit more than that, but to a degree it is. But if it's really land like that, if Pan-Africanism was really a thing, you'd be able to go to pretty much any African country and you'd be welcome in as someone that is among that land, you know? And it's not like that as it should be. We don't have that. Nobody's just openly granting us citizenship. They know about our history, the Nigerian slave trade, all of that. Nobody has openly come out and said that. And they know we got paper and stuff over here, but it's a lot of reasoning as to why that is. I have a lot of theories. I won't go into that because I don't want to derail the conversation or belabor it. But I would simply say it's not land like that. And you know, and of course, when non-FBAs come over here to America, for the most part, they're embraced by other blacks here. So that's something that definitely deserves. That's very under discussed, I would say. Okay. It's very under discussed.
Poppy, talk to what he's saying. Since you're from a different continent, you're different from a different country. How do you look at pro-black or Pan-Africanism?
How you doing? First, can you say hi to me at least? Jesus Christ.
Baby. How you doing?
You just rushed me out like that. Thought you loved me, girl.
I thought we was done. The baby.
Nah. No, what's good, Jay? How's everybody doing?
What's up, Bobby?
Salute.
Hey,
Respect, yo. Well, pro black, from my understanding, is like the knowledge of the culture and the betterment of black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If well, I'm always in favor for the betterment and the good of black people across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way I look at race, you probably look at it different. To me, a black person is just a black person all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, most black people look at it like that. Only for some odd reason, we get to the internet now, it's a bunch of separation that I barely see that in the real world. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I very
So,
rarely see it
yeah,
too. I mean, I
yeah,
was saying that earlier to Jay. I
yeah,
I don't look at people and say, oh, okay, you're from Caribbean and you ain't
right.
really black. I just
You
be
black.
like, hey, you black,
I
you
see a
know.
Right.
black person. Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. So like, listen, I live in a lot of places. I live in Miami. Of course, I was born in Colombia, raised in New York. I also live in Jersey, and I'm in the West Coast, right? I
Mm,
got a lot of Black American friends, and he actually bothered me to even saying Black America. I don't call them like that in real life. This is just my brothers. These people would kill you for me, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying?
right.
I go to their house. They treat me with love and respect. They invite me to the family reunion. They come to my house, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for some odd reason, the internet they got this thing. They even came up with names now, like the tether thing. To me, that's a little funny, Joe. I ain't gonna lie to you. You ain't gonna bother me by calling me that. That's actually sound like a video game, if you ask me.
Oh, tether.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, that sounds very funny. If that's supposed to be insulting, got to come up with a better name, actually.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay.
sound like a video game.
See,
Um,
I thought it was just a mixture of I thought it was just a mixture of somebody who was not American born. That's all I thought tether was. I didn't know it was an insult. I didn't know it was
no,
supposed to be an insult.
no, I might be wrong, but from every time that people use it towards me, you can tell they're trying to mean it insulting. But like I say, it doesn't bother me like at all. Like to me, it's a joke. Because the whole point of the insult is supposed to, like, you know what I mean, raise your blood pressure.
Right.
And if
Right.
he doesn't do that, kind of fail, right?
Right. Right.
So, but like, yeah, back to like you saying, being pro-black to be for the betterment of black people in America. Obviously, we here, so that will be the number one concern, and then for the betterment of black people across the globe, I'm always in favor for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. Old school,
Yeah.
remember 2 months, young people, disrespectful. Shaking my head. Thank you very much. You all hit the like button coming in, please, and thank you. Hit the Cash App, the Super Chat. We're not working for free. We're having content. We're doing this whole subject.
I ain't getting paid.
I would appreciate.
Can I hold on? Let me say this one about this guy, this mulatto guy. This mulatto guy been saying the same thing literally for the past 3 years, yo. He jump on panels just to say some of the dumbest and lamest thing on planet Earth. He don't say nothing else. He jump on panels just to say, "Well, what you gonna do about the illegal aliens, bro? What can you do about the illegal aliens, bro? What can you possibly do? And why would you want to compete about their jobs? Do you know what kind of jobs the illegal aliens got, bro? They washing dishes at restaurants. They outside of Home Depot. They're doing the farming jobs. Do you really want those jobs? Like, who really want those jobs? Like,
and
I got a small business. I got a small business, right? HQ. I got a car. I got a car lot, right? I buy and sell cars. I usually keep it between 10, like between 8 and 15 cars, right? And usually, and everybody that got a small business will understand. We working with it. I mean, I'm doing well for myself, but for the most part, if you got a small business, you're working with a very small profit. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta squeeze that in order for you to live good, right? You know who's your best friend when you got a small business?
Well.
Illegal aliens. They're gonna do the same job for 30 cents on a dollar. Literally.
yes, and let me address the black Colombian brother. with all due
I
respect,
ain't your brother, homie.
yes, you're not the Colombians' brother neither because you abandoned Colombia. When will you go back to help your family in Colombia, the ones that are selling their pussy in the streets?
Whoa.
Yo, leave him all, man.
Leave him alone. It's funny actually. It's way more prostitution in America than anywhere else in the world, man. Like you can literally walk, like yo anywhere. But I don't even know why he brought that up. Yeah, leave it on him. It doesn't bother him.
That's
I
the
know it.
thing with that guy. He don't he want to sound intelligent, but all he is disrespectful. And Poppy Blanco, I rock with you, man. I know we had a little tension in the chat when I first seen you come on HQ panel, but I like what you said about being, black people, and I've been hearing you cook up. I got respect for you, so my bad if we got introduced the wrong way, but I
Yeah,
fuck
Poppy
with you.
Poppy told me to mind my business. But anyhow,
But men can
It's all love,
disrespect
bro.
each other like that a
and it ain't
little
nothing,
bit.
bro. And I
Yeah,
laugh at it now because it's just
yeah,
it's not. I didn't take it serious. It's just funny now. I don't care. Just like all the like whatever. But that guy needs to stay away, HQ,
yeah.
because
That's a different breed.
he's
Who has that
we've
power?
been he's
Oh,
steadily
Peace, family,
he's
peace.
steadily derailing the conversation.
right.
And it's not about his disrespect. It's not about his perspective.
Somebody
It's not
time
about
him
nothing.
out.
But
I can't time him. I
but
don't
Jay,
want to try to do
It's
all
not
but
that.
about
Jay,
that's
but
not what we're talking about. So
Right.
every time he comes up, it takes us away from what we're actually supposed to be talking about.
Having a
but
conversation about
And it's no disrespect to him. It's just that's not what we came up to talk
Nah,
about now.
yo,
every
this
disrespect
time
to
we give
man,
him. Fuck
and we
him.
give him an opportunity to talk about the right thing, and he still go off into the wrong direction. No, we can't allow you on the panel until we talk about immigration. Then we can have you up here all day, but we ain't talking about immigration. So we
Because I
Cause
can't.
like
but
that's a
listen,
real.
solution
he's
based, man. Let's
talking.
be solution based black community.
Right.
We are all in this little community right now. We spread around the country, around the world, whatever like that. We need to come together and find solutions to what we do. Maybe down the line when people see this stuff, if anybody stumbles across this, it might change their mindset
Right.
and it effectively change the way they act amongst them people
Right.
and the choices that they make in life. And that's what I'm
But
trying to
yeah,
do
yeah,
when
me
I
see.
talk about this stuff.
But Jay, you giving that man too much energy, right? Because look, he doesn't even live here. This man like in Dominican Republic somewhere,
Puerto Rico.
chasing Puerto
Puerto Rico
Rico.
said,
I
yeah.
could have said it was.
That's
He
what
told me. You see, he
that's what he
lied.
said.
I mean, he lied there because he said before he was in Dominican Republic. He said that before. Trust me,
Mhm.
like that. Yo, he jump on panels and say the same thing for the past. Ever since I started coming to YouTube, which is gonna be 3 years. I know his whole monologue, yo, before he even say.
So my
You
question
wanna?
is, if
He live in Puerto Riconda.
if he keeps getting kicked off because he's disrespectful to the panel, why do you keep coming to the panel and getting disrespect and get kicked off? That don't even
Cause
make
he
That's
sense.
want
just
the
nothing
attention.
else to
He want
do.
the
Nothing else. I
attention. He
mean,
ain't
that's
got
just
nothing
human
else.
nature, man. If you don't have nothing else to do and you're gonna get the reaction that you want from people, you're gonna keep doing something.
That's a
It feels good.
wild.
He
Y'all hit
he
the
ain't
like
got
button coming
he
in.
ain't got no coochie around. He ain't got no cheeks around. He ain't got nothing else to do but get up here
There's a
and he
whole
flip
bunch of
flops.
illegals
He
for him
keep
to
flip
go call
flops.
ICE on right now. So I don't know why he's on the panel when the illegal immigrants is flooding in at the numbers they are. He should be out there doing his job, calling
And
ICE.
he
Get him out of
probably
here.
half black, half illegal immigrant himself. You need to call ICE on half himself.
Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Stop. Stop. Did he or did he not say he has called over 50
Yes.
No, he's gotten 50 deported.
So
Yes,
how
he
do
said
you
that.
got 50 people deported and you wait a minute, hold
Don't
up.
even live here. How you know to report people that you don't see? He
Wait a
just be
minute, hold
talking.
up. Ain't that what he said?
Just talking. I
What?
didn't know he wasn't in America. I just knew he was in
No. He said
Right.
he
a
moved his
mixed
family to Puerto
community.
Rico. He said he
I,
moved his family, his three baby mamas and his three kids. He moved. His kids is
So
adults now. He said he moved them
I
to Puerto
thought
Rico.
he I thought
so
he
He
how
lived in a
also
mixed
said he works
community
in the
trailer
government.
park.
wait a minute. So how do you get all of these people deported from Puerto Rico? If you're in Puerto Rico, that's all you do is hear people with accents. So how are you getting people deported and you can't really tell one from
Because
one
Puerto
person?
Rico is all mulatto. Didn't you know that, HQ?
He fresh and
No,
fit
but
for illegal immigration is crazy.
No,
but
he's not. He's lying. There's no way you're lying. Because there's no way you got that many people deported from Puerto Rico. You're not here. So how you getting people deported from here? You're lying. Unless you're here.
No, but the thing is, Puerto Rico belongs to is a part of the United States. Yeah. So how the hell he can tell? Exactly. So how the hell you can tell that person is quote unquote not Puerto Rican, which automatically is an American citizen, or from somewhere else? How can he tell that? He's a liar. I'm gonna tell you how I know he's a liar. And we don't talk about this clown, right? He said he lived with three wives.
Right.
What kind of man with 3 wives would be? Yo, I'm telling you, this man jump on these panels every day for no reason to say the same thing with 3 wives. There is no way how I would be doing something like that.
You ain't got no time to be doing. You ain't got no time to do none of that. You just
his 3 wives. It's his hands, some lotion, and some baby oil.
There you go. In that order, right there. In that
3
order.
boyfriends, more likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
facts.
I don't know none of that, but it's the internet, man. So you don't know what to believe, man.
Yeah. So we talking about the pro blacks. I guess it may be pro black. See, I just look at black people and then just say, hey, we want to move as a group because we all have the same. If we here, we have the same interest in starting the communities and making the communities better, regardless of whether you Africa or Colombia. It's the economic thing. And that's why economics. Why we got so many rich black folk. We got so many rich black folk. Why we can't do something? We got so many rich black folk.
We can. That's why I said it starts. It starts and stops with us. It starts and stops with us.
I believe the simple fact that we live in such a big country, right? So that make it real hard. And I'll tell you why, right? Because now, for the simple fact that black people is like 14%, and then let's say because the Latino community, they split between blacks and white. They got white Latinos and black Latinos like myself, right? So they split like pretty much kind of. It's probably more white Latinos than black Latinos. But let's just say, let's just stick with the black part first, black American part, right? It's 14, right? But it's all spread around the country, so that make it hard for the economics to become bigger because now it's going to be, if we go by the math, for every 100 people in every city, that means 14 people is going to be black American, right? So guess what? That city is big. It gets harder for you to become richer and get in better position economics because now you're not spending money with each other. Do we got black cities? Yes, we do. You go to ATL, that place is black. You go to Baton Rouge, that place is black. New Orleans is black. You see what I'm saying? However, but most of the country is black people, but it's spread around. So now, in order for you to move up in this, because that's how the Chinese people get richer, right? That's how the little hats people get richer because they in tiny spots. So now, HQ, you Chinese, you got a nail salon. Jay Tillma, you Chinese, you got a restaurant. Let me see. Ty, you Chinese, now you are a what are the
cleaner?
Laundromat.
You see what I'm saying? So now everybody in this panel is Chinese, so we spending money with each other. So now I got my own. I'm Chinese, and let's say I got a little car lot, right? Now, since I know the mechanics, JT, I'm gonna bring me his car. You're gonna bring me your car. Guess what? I need to go eat. I go JT, I'm Chinese restaurant. I need my cleaner. I go to Thai Pro stuff. You see what I'm saying? So the money stay with them for the longest. So the same thing with business.
Right.
With black people, can they do? Yes, they can do it. The problem is to spread around, but also you gotta understand those communities, they are smaller, so it's easier to get richer. The smaller it is, the better you can control it.
And the black community tends to stay within a small wedge of what jobs are available. When you look at black women, when they get loans or business loans and stuff, what kind of jobs do they go into? Predominantly beauty industry, hair, lashes, aesthetics, all that stuff.
Barbershops, car washes.
Black men, barbershops, car washes. We don't tend to really branch out of that small wedge of like certain jobs. That's why I can't get no work done because don't nobody have those type of businesses. Right. I can't get no work done on my houses because I want an electrical job. It's one black electrician,
right?
And he be booked, and he might not even really do a real good job. And even if he do a real good job, he really gonna be booked.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go outside of the community and spend money. That's why our money only doesn't even exchange hands to another black business.
Right.
So it
leaves our community right away.
Right.
I agree with both of y'all. We gotta spread the black dollar. So I just give my experience. Just like with the black marriage rates, I see rising with younger people. I'm gonna give an example. I just moved to my crib. I had black movers come and move me. My homeboy I used to work with has a good professional, very quick, didn't procrastinate to run up the hours or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very helpful, black owned company. He actually had a white employee with him helping him. And I was just proud of my brother. My little cousin is becoming HVAC. I got a homeboy that I went to trucking school with. He owns a plumbing company that he got passed down by his dad. You know what I'm saying? I just talked to a young lady who's going in to become an electrician. So it's like like Jay Tillman at HQ was saying at the beginning, we haven't had a lot of time to be able to rock like this, but I see the potential and I see where it's going. There's so many black-owned restaurants, black-owned businesses in Detroit. The employment rate is low in Detroit because there's a lot of black entrepreneurs in Detroit. So I see it with my own eyes that we are understanding the program and kind of getting on code with that. It's just taking a little time.
Oh, okay.
And we need to embrace the trades too, man.
Yeah,
trade industry is like so lacking, man. If you would never be lacking for work if you embrace the trade. If you good at your craft, carpentry, I mean, all of it, man. Electrical, like all of it, HVAC, all of it.
But it depends on where you are too, because I heard something the other day that I really didn't know. Do they have blocks of the trades where if you all Italian, all of y'all get the jobs? If you Italian and you do HVAC, does it happen like in specific cities, or is that
depending where you are?
Nepotism always exists.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're gonna come down. You're gonna come down where you are. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, we can do the same thing. We can, like, other communities do it. They all other communities do it, man. They look out for each other. That's why, like at the dealerships here, you have, when you hire a Filipino salesman, guess who all comes in and goes to them? The other Filipinos in the community,
right?
The East Indians, the Sikhs, or any other like religion or whatever. You speak a specific language, those people come to you because they want to feel comfortable in their community. They're patronizing a dealership, but they're going to the salesperson that represents them. They feel comfortable doing that. We can do the same thing.
And I heard about this particular thing one time. It was a man talking to me because I was running this shelter, right? I was running the shelter, and the man said the Mexican people, they live in the Mexican neighborhoods, and then they open up businesses just like this: the cleaner, the law, the restaurant, all of these things. And when he works, his wife doesn't work. So his wife can walk to the cleaner, his wife can walk to the restaurant, his wife can walk to the laundromat, his wife can walk to all of these places. When he go to work, he don't have to worry about his wife because his wife can stay in the neighborhood and hit 3, 4, 5 different things. And I thought that was a very interesting concept that is called Chinatown or Chinatown or Mexican town or Mexicali or whatever. And it's like we can do that same thing too if we hold the integrity of everybody's business. If I work here, this is the neighborhood. This is the neighborhood store. This is the neighborhood laundromat. Don't come in here robbing.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. And we gotta respect our businesses. Stop asking for hookups. Stop going in there acting all kinds of ratchet and stuff like that. And on the other side, don't be a ghetto business that portrays the worst of our community. Be professional.
Right.
Talk to people. I hate it when certain people walk in and you talk to them proper, or you speak to them with respect, and then you see somebody that looks like you come in, oh, what you want? I ain't trying to get that for you. And you're like, what? Just be professional across the board.
Right.
You're professional. You got a business.
Right.
People are gonna put the word of mouth. Hey, you need to go down there, man. They really doing it down there. You need to go to that business.
Right.
That they us down there. You need to go support. You know, don't ask for a hookup. Go in there. You know, and then which allows communities to grow.
Right. Yes.
You know, and then one business goes, and then they not getting robbed by the stick up kids and stuff like that. And so now it's safe for other other businesses to go in that area.
Right.
You feel comfortable going there. It's not bars up everywhere. It's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it. But man, we can do it, man.
Right. I mean, you just gotta be willing to have the integrity, keep the integrity of the neighborhood, keep the integrity of the stores, respect the owners of the property. I am doing this for our community so we can rise up as a people, pro-black, however you want to look at it. I own a laundromat, you own a restaurant, you own this, you own that. Don't come in here and just tear it down. We want everybody to rise as we rise. So, because it goes out, the neighborhood goes out one block at a time. Okay, they own housing, or that person rents out, that person owns buildings, or that person fixes up houses and then they sell them. We want to be a part of that. We want to be a part of all of that. But we can't be a part of it if we keep dealing with the foolery we get from. I get it. I get Nug and I get Bum Keisha. But there's a way to bring them into a certain decorum that we establish. If we establish a certain decorum when you come to this area of town, we are going to service you, but you got to come to this area of town and act like you got sense. Because
we keep them out until they change and want to come into the fold.
Right.
Don't tolerate the foolishness.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Right.
Oh, you acting like this? You done? Respectfully, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Right.
We don't want your business.
Right.
You know, we push them out until they're willing to change and acquiesce and come into the community and want a part of it and want to contribute to it.
Right.
We don't have to tolerate like ghetto and ratchetness just because we Black. That's not our culture. Our culture is a culture of excellence. And it's one thing I want to say real quick. When you were speaking before we came up on the panel, HQ, when you say when certain Black people say, well, certain things are designed to keep us down and keep us to not succeed. Mm-hmm. Imagine if the people who were slaves had that same mentality and didn't strive for better. Mm-hmm. So you telling me the slaves who strive for better, who got out of that situation, willing to put their lives on that, had it worse than you, who just have some couple holes in your way, a couple slip ups in life, or encountered a couple racist people in your life. Right. You have it worse than the actual people who came out of slavery. You can't tell me that because they did it. And that's why they came out of it skilled workers, and they were the only people who were really skilled in doing those jobs. Right. So they had to get paid to do the work after slavery because nobody else could do the work to their level.
Right. And I say we can rise as a people. We can if on every level we make a concentrated effort. That means making sure our people get educated, which means we make sure that you get a GED. If you got to get a GED, you got to get a GED. But get GED, it'll get you somewhere. It'll get you in the military. It'll get you into college if that's what you want to do. But we got to get our population educated so they understand we are an economic block somehow, some way, and we should be able to rise with the ones that we have who got money. They should be able to help. I'm not saying reach back in the community, just put all your money there, but I'm saying do what LeBron James is doing.
I'm saying that.
I'm saying that. Well, yeah, Jay is saying that. So I'm saying one community at a time. There's housing that could be done, and don't put up with no foolery when you do have housing, when you do buy housing, when you do set up apartments for people. Don't put up with the foolery. We ain't doing that. We're kicking you straight out. You don't know how to act in this
yeah, you got to.
We just got to kick you out. You come in this store, you act up, we got to kick you out. And people got to start saying things in order for it to stop. In order for us to push it back into the goddamn closet, we got to push it back into the goddamn closet. We opened up the door. Now we got to push him back into the closet.
Our culture runs the West. My bad, Poppy. Our culture runs the West. We stop Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, all that stuff. Our country, our culture pushes that stuff.
Right.
If we were to push our own things, it would go. Mm-hmm. My bad, Poppy.
I'm gonna disagree with both of you. I think whether you like it or not, you need a little bit of ratchetness coming to your store.
Why?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because usually the ratchet moments usually is going to happen. The places that y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but the places that I see happening is usually going to be restaurant, maybe a clothing store. I'm trying to think of another place that you might come close to some ratchet activities. Y'all can help me. I know restaurants,
salons, barbershops, restaurants, clothing stores.
Yeah, I mentioned clothing stores. So okay, you need, because you are a small business. So I mean, you don't have too much luxury, especially because you got the highest. You are at the people's mercy in the first 3 years, because when you within 3 years, you still consider. You still got like a high rate to fail. That's what the numbers say when you have a small business, right? When you own a small business, so you don't have the luxury to pick and choosing customers coming down. With the ratchet people,
we're not saying when they come in the store and they act the way they act that we say get the hell out. We're saying, look, we're not doing that here. We want your business, but we're not doing that here. And then if they don't acquiesce, then you kick them out. I'm not saying immediately kick them out. I'm saying, look, this is what we're trying to do. You a black person, I'm a black person. I'm trying to establish a business here. I'm trying to establish a culture here. Now, if you can't go along with the culture, then I'm going to ask you respectfully to leave, please. But we have to have a stand. We got to make a stand. We got to make a stand against this. Like immediately, like as soon as we open the business, as soon as we got to, because otherwise we're gonna allow Jerry, Sue, Keisha, we're gonna give them all
Ahmed, Raheem, and the Middle Easterners come over and take, just like they did in Buffalo, just like Ty Pro said. Because I wrote it down. Remember that live we had when I wrote it down on a piece of paper and I said who owns the corner stores and the things. Right. And y'all said Arab, and I held it up on the paper because that's what everybody call them, even though they could be Sikh or whatever. They call everybody just an Arab because we don't even own stuff in our own communities, but we patronize those communities.
Right.
They bring a cousin in, they open another one. They bring another cousin in, they open a gas station. They bring another cousin in.
That's more complicated because from what I learned, and I didn't even know this because I got one of my aunties. She got a restaurant, right? And every penny she got it between her and my uncle, right? They say they open it themselves, but I didn't know like when you come from like India and China, right? They got deals with the U.S. governments and they get grants.
Oh, they get grants, yeah.
For 10 years. We most people don't know this, but those are deals that the United States got with those countries. You see what I'm saying? They don't got those kind of deals for everybody else. So now think about it. Do you know what that means when you get grants that you don't have to pay back, and on top of that, you can get loans with no interest, that you don't have to pay taxes and all that for 10 years? Do you know what that does for a business? Man, that's gonna put you in a whole different level, right?
Right.
Also, exactly. So that's why they get those stores like those 7-Eleven joints or those bodegas, and they run it up. They don't close that. They be the owner working there 14 hours, and then they cuss the uncle and the wifey over there working because their goal is to open to get 2 or 3 of those joints in the next 5 years because they got that they are flexible like that. I wish I would have known. I wish, like I was telling my auntie, like, I wish I would have known too. But those credits are not available for none of us. Those are deals with them.
Right. I mean, if we had more people, see, the whole point is to let's get educated. Let's get educated about about businesses, educated about the tax code, educated about, but we really have to rise our people from that 4th grade education that I keep hearing about. That education level, we really need to pull these people along, because we're only as strong as our weakest link. And if our weakest link is always on the bottom, always never being educated, we're gonna have a problem pulling us all up.
These scammers out here need to be lawyers, man.
And do you know, before I forget, man, like whoever is interested, man, you need to go to the www.sba.com. There's plenty of grants in there, especially for women, Black
SBA?
girls in specific, right?
SBA?
Right? Yes. Also, take your ass to your city hall in your town, whatever the fuck you live at, right?
Mm-hmm.
City hall got grants on top of grants that go on claim. Especially if you a black girl, and especially if you got kids,
mm-hmm.
you because you're gonna cover you like 3 people in one, pretty much. You black,
mm-hmm.
you a single mama, whatever,
mm-hmm.
and you're a minority. That right there alone get you like a lot of those grants go on claim.
Mm-hmm.
You can even people was telling me you can even claim some of those grants that they give to like the native. If nobody going to claim it, you can actually apply for those too. And it's a possibility. You're getting a little $3,000 grant over here, $4,500 grant over here for equipment for whatever store you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't. The point that I'm saying that to say this: you don't have to use your personal money and put yourself in debt with credit cards when you got a lot of stuff available for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning all of this as I'm going too.
Yeah, that's what Damon John said, man. He said, "Don't why would I use my money when I can use your money?"
Yes, that's how the rich get richer.
We got to be able to put that in front of our people so that we can start those businesses. I love to hear about that one black. It was a group of people that started a town in Georgia somewhere. They started a town in Georgia, or I don't know. They started building places in Georgia.
Yes.
Like,
they were like 40-something acres. They're trying to build their own city in a way.
Right. But I can't remember where it was. Somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. So, but that's okay.
Yeah. I was gonna jump in for a second. I think Jay Tillman made a good point earlier. Blacks, and I was having this conversation not too long ago. Blacks don't make enough diversification when it comes to starting businesses, like you say. For the most part, it's car washes, barbershops, beauty shops. It's the same, probably 6 to 10 different things, Like I'm trying, my goal is next year to open a technology shop. So, like it's just, and then I got other plans. So, car lots, like those things are like the known things that I've seen blacks start. And I mean, that's great because some have definitely had success with it. Mm-hmm. But, I like to open a motorcycle shop after that. So, hey, let's do it. We need more diversification. One of the problems with that, Jay, is a lot of the people of those other races that do open those things, they've already had elders or friends and family of elders that have done those same things. Yeah, people
we got to start somewhere, man. We got to start somewhere.
Though. You're right. Somebody's gonna have to start it, though. I agree. But see, that goes in line. We was having this conversation last night, me and Top Pro, and when we talk about what's FBA was starting from scratch after slavery. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a homeland where they got thousands of years of structure and secrets passed down. And then when people crossed over in here in the 19th century, they were able to bring a lot of that stuff over, man. And they still go back and cross-reference a lot of stuff, Yeah, we don't have that. So unfortunately, people generally don't like coming out of their comfort zone from what I've discovered as I've gotten older.
So a question.
Did
anybody get that list of black when we started to boycott Target, they were circulating a list of black owned products and where you could go to their websites and get their products without going to Target. And it was a black list circulating. I had it. I don't know what I would have to find it again, but I had a list of all the black businesses that you could go there and get their products and help support those particular, you know, those brand of products, because they would be in Target and they would be in Target. So they've been tested. So I'm saying you can go directly to their websites and get it instead of going to Target to get those. So I got to find that list, you know, of products.
If you find it, put it in your community post.
Okay.
I'm a slide out of here. I appreciate you, HQ, for letting me come up.
Thank you.
Salute to Jay Tillman, Triple X, Poppy Blanco, Black America. Salute to the panel.
Yep. Salute to you, man. Salute to you.
We have
FBA all day.
Yeah, FBA all day. But thank you very much. But hey, y'all give me your final thoughts on this, because I was gonna do a P. Diddy panel, but
oh shit!
Why you want to do
HQ?
We having a freak off? Hold on, we doing a freak off?
P. Diddy panel. A P. Diddy, you know about P. Diddy? What?
Take that.
P. Diddy panel?
No. P. Diddy.
Oh my goodness, man.
No, I'm not opening my mouth for that yellow shit. No.
Yeah, go get
it. That's like asking for trouble starting that panel.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I know.
I don't want to talk about that freaking deviant, man.
I was gonna do it, but we ain't gonna do that. So give me your final thoughts, Poppy Blanco, sir. Thank you very much.
Good stuff. Good. I came here late, but good string, girl. So keep it going. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Triple Ty Pro. Give me your final thought if you're still here. Ty Pro? No. Triple X. Triple X. He gone. Jay?
Did he go? He was about to say something.
Okay. Hey, Triple?
Hey, yeah, I'm here. I had to mute on. My bad.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, great. No, you're good. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, great stream. I came in a little late, but great stream and very good topic.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, it's the whole point is that topic encompasses a lot. See, I don't like to talk. I hate to talk. I like to take action.
Yeah.
This is what I do for the black community. This is what I personally do.
Okay.
I rent out houses.
Yeah.
People who can't afford expensive places to stay, I rent the house to them at a price where I may make a profit, maybe $500, if that.
Yeah.
I make sure that they have a place to stay. And I know they can't afford no $1,800 rent, and it's a 3-bedroom. So I find places where, hey, you will be able to afford it, and then you'll be able to function and have money in your pocket. Because I hate to hear of people not being able to afford places to stay.
Yeah,
when I owned a 5-bedroom house, right? People, and I owned it in Atlanta in one of the exclusive neighborhoods. It was a big, gigantic house, about 3,000 square feet.
Yeah,
like 5 bedrooms. So I had my 1 bedroom, and I rented out the other 4 bedroom. See, I don't mind living with people. They don't bother me. People don't bother me. Hey, respectfully. I had a singer, I had a model, I had a mailman, I had these kind of people, everyday working American people, Black American people who couldn't afford to have an apartment or things on their own, but they knew that that they could, depend on me to help them find places. And I have people call me to this day. Do you have places? Do you have a place to stay? No, I don't have any place to stay, because people don't leave where I live. People don't leave the places that I rent out, because I'm reasonable with the places, whether I buy houses or I rent houses. I'm reasonable with those things.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I try to help the community in that way. I had a house where I had all older men who were like on Social Security. Oh, okay. Well, just pay me $700 a month. That's all you gotta do, and I'll make sure that the house. Y'all make sure you have a maid every week come in, do whatever you got to do. But that's what I want from every one of you guys, and it was a 5-bedroom place, right?
Right.
Then $600, and then that helped them out, because I know they didn't make that money, they didn't get that much money, but they had a decent place to stay. See, I'm one of those people that I reach back into the community and I will help a person if they need help like that. See, because because I understand. So I've done those things to be my, and I'll rent to whoever. It doesn't matter whether you're black or whatever. But most of the primarily people, I do it in the black neighborhoods because
okay,
well,
that's awesome.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
So I'm just saying that's how I give back to the community.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm happy to hear. Excuse me, that you're doing such a feat for the black community and having a heart for people who can't afford to spend $1,500 a month for rent and stuff like that. That's great. Hey, a little bit more info about that model you said you had at your place. Hey,
I came home one day because they live with me.
Yeah.
Big old house. I had this big old house, right? This suite. My suite, my bedroom was a 30 by 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
I come home. I walk into the big old living room.
Freak off.
It was like 45 feet 45. And she's standing there in some kind of lingerie and a light, one of them big lights, you know, them lights and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what she was doing.
Modeling.
I don't know what I was doing. I was like, and I just turned away, went into the kitchen, and I was like, whatever. Yeah. Long as you ain't in here nude, me and you straight, right?
Drop the draws.
I done had, you know, unusual situations like that with the tenants. But you know, I never had a problem with the rent. Hey, you know, the rent is $700. Boom, boom, boom. Slide it under my door. Cash out to me. Do how you need to do it.
I'm not just give me my money.
Yeah.
And they know they.
Hey, Lex, she was in the living room in lingerie, but she was a hand model.
Right. I was like, okay. So these things occur, but in a place like Atlanta, people need places to stay. It just is what it is. We need to
stop moving to them places, man. Right. We need to go reclaim someplace in the middle of the country, man.
Right.
We need to stop. We all can't live in Atlanta and Houston and New York.
I know. That's why I moved
Southern California.
That's why I moved out of there. It was just too many. I moved there for the first time about 7-8 years ago, and I had never lived in a place where I've seen this many black people. I said, "Damn, it ain't nothing but black people around, nothing but." I would have moved years ago if I'd have known that, but you know, it was what it was. So, anyway, that's my story of Atlanta, living in Atlanta, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to volunteering, man. Most of my volunteering came when I lived in Charleston in Berkeley County with the schools and the food bank and stuff like that.
Oh, yes.
But, yeah. Ain't no black, it's not a black community where I am now. So it's like,
right.
You know.
Well, you just got to seek them out. You seek them out. They around. There's pockets of them wherever you go.
Black. It's not the same up here in Vancouver. It's not.
That's
the same.
$3,500 a month. What's $3,500 a month? What's $3,500 a month? Rent?
You don't want to know what the rent be up here, man. It's ridiculous.
Oh, wait a minute, Jay. You in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. Yeah. No, I get that. I get that, man. Because ever since y'all lost the Grizzlies, man, that was a long time ago.
What? What? The Grizzlies.
I'm about to be back on the East Coast, though, man. I'm be good.
Yeah, the real big three, man. Sharif Abdul-Rahim. What was that? Mike Bibby. In big
I think they even left before I when did they leave?
They left a long time ago.
Yeah, they left before I even moved up here.
Yeah, they left a long time. Yeah. Is your wife from Vancouver?
Yeah, she's from here.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
You have 5 rooms times 700. Yeah, I had a 6-bedroom house and I charged everybody $700 per room. Wait a minute, I only rented rooms.
You were subletting? HQ's a subletting. Slumlord. Got butt naked girls in there. HQ had girls in rooms in lingerie on the internet.
I had
in these rooms.
I had people come in. I had a maid come in and clean their house.
I'm taking care of y'all.
Come in and clean the community house. Twice a week. I paid a maid
house.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Was you with your husband then when you had?
No.
Okay. HQ was a madam. HQ was a madam.
Once fee was gone, I said I'm never gonna pay rent again, and I never paid rent again. I don't do that. I make
Queen
other
pen.
people pay my rent. You crazy?
Yeah, queen pen. Yeah, get on
Hey,
your knees.
I had like at one point I had like 4 houses, and I was living in the house, and I had people living with me. So I was flushed.
money.
That's how I paid off one car in 1 year. A car in 1 year. I paid off a house in almost 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Let me see the back of your knuckles, HQ. Let me see that. Okay, all right, okay, just making sure.
Well, I ain't know.
Because usually you get like a scar here from teeth if you backhanding.
No.
HQ pimp hand strong. She had them girls on the internet.
I'm a very good landlord. So I'm a very good landlord. I'm understanding. I'm all of these things. I'm a very good landlord. But it is what it is. I don't do that no more because I'm good. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. You out the game.
No, I got people living with me now.
Oh, okay.
I told you I ain't ever gonna pay no mortgage or ever pay no rent ever again. Long as there's human beings and need a place to stay. It is what it is. But anyway, y'all say y'all give me y'all last thoughts and then we out of here.
That's all I got. Go ahead, Jay.
Thank you, Triple.
I don't got nothing else, man.
Let me say this. On that immigration thing, I got some interesting views on that, but we'll save it for another time.
Oh God.
Yeah, I did have to kick a couple out because they was fighting at 2:00 in the morning. They were fighting at 2:00 in the morning, woke everybody up. When I had to come out of my bed and go down to the house because the police may show up and you and your boyfriend fighting or acting fool, that was one of the rules of the house. Don't get into any kind of trouble. No fighting, no this, that, and the other, no disturbing. Once you do that, instantly you get kicked out. Can we spend the night? We'll leave in the morning. Nope, you got to go right now. It's 2:00 in the morning. I don't care. You got
that ring doorbell beat.
You got everybody in the house woke. Long as you got everybody in the house woke, you got to go. It is what it is. So most people I've never had a problem with, except a couple. One dude I come home and he nude in it. One dude I come home and I was renting a room and people were saying he like to get nude. We can't have him. We can't have him in the house. He like to get nude. I went up. I came home and I went upstairs to his. I came to that house and went upstairs and went into the room and he was laying on the floor naked, just spread out, with the door open, laying on his back. I said, sir, would you please get dressed and meet me in the front room? What's wrong? What's wrong? Is there a problem? Yes, I think you need to pack your things and I will be taking you to a hotel. Well, ma'am, I just moved in. That's not my concern. I will refund you some money. But you can.
Hell. Boy, what are you doing?
I had to walk over him in order to, he's by the door. The door is open and his feet are almost out the door. He's laying on his back nude. I said, what?
His balls were stuck to the ground, to the hardwood.
I said, no. I said, no. So
that's why I can't have tenants, HQ.
I had
better you than me.
Yeah. So I was like, no, we can't, we're not gonna be able to do this, sir. Man. He was like, why are you kicking me out? Why are you kicking me out? I can't help you, sir. I cannot help you. I
can see your balls, bro.
You're not nude. You're nude right here in front of me, sir. They told me you went into the kitchen and ate their food. You told me you went in the kitchen and you was nude. They told me you was nude in front of one of the guests. They told me you were sitting on the couch in the front room nude. No.
He pulled the Ving Rhames.
Yes.
You want something to eat?
You want some? No. So yes, I've had particular guests, but I'm very
that price point is gonna attract a lot of weirdos. And that's just how I go. Unfortunately,
no, that just happened to be that the 700 was for the gentlemen who were on Social Security, because they don't get that much money. Social Security don't make a lot. So they each got a room And then that 700 was good enough because then they had money to do whatever they needed to do after that.
Yeah.
And I had them in the room. I had them in the house for about 5 years. So
yeah,
no problem with them at all. So it is what, yeah. And it was all furniture that I had furnished the whole house.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it was
Breeze ain't getting that out.
But it was a big house. It was a 6-bedroom house. It was huge. It was a huge house. In Atlanta. It was huge. I don't ever get no small house. Get a big house and then everybody got a place to stay. I almost got a 9-bedroom one time, but couldn't make it. Couldn't do it. So it is what it is. But I thank you guys for coming up. I thank you for coming up. We'll have some kind of show tomorrow. Thank you. I thank you all for showing up. Of course, we need to have this conversation more, better. Please hit the like button going in and out. I would have appreciated some super chats, cash apps, all of those good things. You guys always want me to work for free. I don't understand what's going on. We needed at least $20. That's what we needed. We needed $20 for it to be funded. For that's what I work for. $20 an hour. So please and thank you guys for showing up. Please and thank you guys. Please show up tomorrow. Let's do what we have to do. Okay. I put everybody in the title. I put Raquel in the title. I put Fatty in the title, but Fatty having some kind of marathon. Flora in the title, Tierney in the title. I put everybody in the title. Okay. And none of them showed up. I knew Pan was going to show up. I knew who was going to show up. I appreciate you all showing up. Thank you very much. I hope I called all the Cash App, all the membership. I hope I did all of that. Okay, Mr. Walker, thank you. Miss J. Walker, thank you. Tahilism, Tillman, Old School, thank you very much. Thank you all for showing up. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We definitely going to have something else. Thank you. Oh, play the noun game. The noun game is going to be revealed tomorrow. Nobody has guessed it.